Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. Very much appreciated. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I myself, get this, guys, I'm feeling a little tired. um, Surprising nobody, I'm sure. Or maybe, I don't know. My sleep schedule's all out of whack. Is anyone else having problems with this? Is it just me? Just like, man, keeping a schedule during the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. It's really tough, isn't it? I mean, coronavirus. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've just personally been struggling with it. But guess what we're doing today? So I really wanted to get Lexi's up and running because I know that the purpose of today's stream, or a big part of today's stream, is to have, to test out Legacy the Dragonborn, which I'm really excited to do. But I also wanted to test out Lexi's because I've not played it. I've played TSO a little bit. I've never gotten to play Lexi's. Unfortunately, there is no Wabbajack profile for Lexi's at the moment. The person maintaining it has kind of other real life obligations at this point. So hopefully soon we'll get to do that. But today we're going to be running kind of a manual installation, just a very basic unpatched Legacy of the Dragonborn. Arthmore does have an Open Cities patch, so maybe we can pop. It's not necessarily. Oh, hello everyone, Noteworthy Nerd, Cisco, Danny, Ring, Plot, and Ordil. Thank you guys for joining me. It's still there, Ring. It's just that, I'm sure mods updated. Something is preventing it from functioning as these things do. Excuse me. Maintaining a mod list requires you to kind of keep up with mod updates and other things, file hosting on the Nexus and things like that. So I think that the person maintaining it just kind of couldn't keep up at the moment because of other obligations that they have. So I was reading the announcements, and they expect that they'll have some time to get it back up, and I can always do that on a different stream. But for this one, we'll just be running Legacy SSE. And I have this in here. There's a section of the Legacy of the Dragonborn main page that has some kind of like officially endorsed mods, right? And this one was a retexture of Fate cards, which I guess are part of the collectibles that you can get in Legacy, and I just thought the textures looked really cool. So I threw that in there, along with this one, which is, it's very unlikely that it's going to be, something that comes up in our playthrough, but apparently this mod adds these really cool activator racks to some of the emptier areas of the museum that allow you to just have more storage space. So I threw that one in there. Hey Connor, how you doing? So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna see how it runs. Oh, and also really fast, someone suggested to me in one of the other streams that I always forget to update this. Well, we are researching and testing new mods, so I'll just go ahead and leave it. Hey Finn, how you doing? Someone mentioned to me that Skyrim Radioactive, as you can see here, had their own versions, has its own version of the Solitude docks and the Windhelm docks, and that I should check those out. And so I did that, and was just kind of messing around with it last night at 3 a.m. as one does. And they're really cool, actually. They're really strong candidates, I think. They need some attention. Like, there's a couple buildings that have doors that you can't access, and there's some performance tweaks that you could make and things of that nature. On the whole, though, they're really, really cool. The design of them is impeccable. It's so many of the criteria that I mentioned in some of the other streams for kind of what I look for in mods of this sort. It just really nails. There's a beautiful kind of logic to the way that things are laid out. There is a lot of detail. The interiors in particular are very detailed and well put together. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of show those off since we have, 3 hours to kill. Also, you guys might notice, maybe this is only exciting for me versus you guys, but I got new headphones. It's very strange because they're sound canceling, and I'm not used to this feeling. But they're really rad. I've finally decided to retire my red Audio Technicas that I've had for probably 8 years now. I was trying to estimate. These things serve me very well. You can see they're kind of starting to fray at the top, and they hurt my ears because the padding, I think, is no longer so padded anymore. Connor, give me $10. What, dude? They are well worth $10. They're still, like, as far as sound quality goes, still pretty good. IMO. I'll send them to you for free if you want them. The OG. When I first started the channel with Tyler, I was using these. When I was in college, I was using these headphones, I believe. I paid, man, I got them on sale. I got these on sale too. I pretty much don't buy anything unless I can get it on sale, with a rare exception, like AAA games that my friends are super, super keen to play. That's about the only AAA game that I'll buy full price. Fun fact, if you guys have never used it before and you're buying games, istthereanydeal.com. It's the way to go. It just tracks all the different virtual storefronts, and I think physical storefronts too. And it will let you know what the cheapest price on any title is. Okay, so that's an ESM, which makes sense. I didn't even stop to consider that. But, at 244, that could cause problems just because we're going to have that. Oof. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Before we jump in, let's just take a quick look-see in SSE Edit, do a quick scan of the plugin to see if we can really expect any major problems because of where this thing has to load at the beginning of the load order. Hopefully not. So keep in mind here, so we're going to be jumping through Legacy, just giving it a general cursory look, because I've never done that before. I've never actually played with Legacy in the past. And I want to be clear here. This is purely for testing purposes. And if anything, I should say distinctly that you should not expect Legacy of the Dragonborn to especially make it into the first released, like, you know, early versions of Ultimate Skyrim on Special Edition. But I'm not even saying that it's going to make it in there at all. That's the purpose, of course, of these testing streams. I just want to be very clear about that so that we can manage expectations. Danny said, which ones did I get? They're the Sony WH-1000 something WX3. Yeah, WH-1000XM3. That's what it is. And they are... I got them on sale for like $100 off, a little bit more than that. I've heard really good things about them. I actually have some friends who have these exact pairs, and I was like, you know, I literally have not bought new headphones in 8 years. So I figure, you know, I'm a firm believer in getting what you pay for, and I don't know if, like, I think the full price is something like $300. I just can't swing that. But if I can get like $100 off, that I can do, maybe. Of course, I'm going to have to... It's going to be chicken and rice for a little bit, but that's fine. That's what I should be eating anyway. Excuse me. Connor says, I think I might... Ring No Steel Series Fake Gamer, of course. I think I might finally get around to modding Fallout 4 while watching today. Hell yeah, Connor. I'm putting off too long. I'd like to see that, actually. Anor Dill, you said you studied film in college, right? Yes, sir. What all did you film during school and after you graduated? So... my film program is a little different from other film I went to UCSB, and UCSB's film program is really cool, in my opinion. It's a film theory program. So there are production classes, and there's, you know, a handful of production classes that you need to take as part of the core curriculum. But compared to other film programs at places like USC, there's a lot less production and a lot more theory. So a lot more analysis, a lot more history of film and media in general, a lot of kind of like the role of film or the impact of media within the context of like society. So a lot of like critical thinking type stuff, which I think is really cool. When I first started there, I think a lot of film students everywhere, everyone wants to, they're all excited to try and make things, which I think is good. You know, it's like you have ideas and you want to test them out, and it's good for you to get those initial few projects out of the way while you're still in film school, and then you can all just make film student level productions together. But since then, I started when I first graduated. This was it 2020? I graduated in 2014. When I first moved out here to LA, and I lived in and around LA my whole life, I was a little bit more keen on film, and I was interned at a couple places. I interned for Lawrence Bender Productions for a while, which was probably the coolest internship that I had, because he's the guy who produced all of Quentin Tarantino's movies. He has his own like little mini. It's not really a production studio. It kind of is. What they do is they like studios like his and like agencies like WME and CAA. They essentially choose projects to fund. They're the producers. Now, given his like clout, we would compete for some of the same scripts as those bigger agencies, but on the whole, they would get most of them. I mean, Lawrence, I think, had kind of the money to, just get the ones that he really wanted. So that internship was really cool. If you don't count the fact that we weren't paid, that was really fun. Unpaid internships, because, if you really want to make it in the industry, you got to be willing to work for exposure is, at least among some people, kind of the attitude, which in retrospect, I mean, I'm really glad for the experience, but like in retrospect, don't work for free. Anybody out there, I'm glad that the attitude on this kind of thing is shifting for most industries, but don't work for free. If you do something well, and like what we did there, me and the other interns, we were what you would call junior development interns, or they gave us a different title. Development essentially entails receiving scripts, and you go through them, you kind of gauge their viability as projects, you gauge what you might change if you wanted to, either make it more commercially viable or even like tweak the story or, just change it in some way so as to make it viable for production. That was really cool because, like I said, we would see the same scripts that, WME and CAA would see. So like I remember I got to read the script for Nightcrawler like when it was still before it was in production. We read Whiplash, both of which Lawrence I think passed on, which of course like hindsight's 2020. It's like these movies went on to be these amazing things. But I will say this, that you can a lot of the time, when you receive a script, the format that it can be really hard to really imagine what a film can be just from the script alone. And oftentimes those are much like earlier working versions of the script. So it's really hard to say. You can't just be like, oh, they didn't fund this movie, like they're crazy. Because like, look how great Whiplash was. But it's tricky sometimes. What did I miss here? 8 years, a good deal to be fair. And that's important too. Exposure bucks. Oof, lots of memes about that in a film meme group I'm part of on Facebook. Feeding my kids with exposure. You code, right? So I have this amazing app idea. Of course, it's anyone who does, I don't know, creative work, you might say. And coding is absolutely creative. It's like, oh, you're a coder. I have this great idea for the app. So like, I'll get all the money or most of the money for having the idea for the app. You're just the developer, so like you'll get a cut. And of course, none of these actually end up being commercially viable apps or projects or whatever. Low-key sounds like a good job if only it paid. Yeah, it was really cool. And like I said, I'm glad for the experience, but there's no way that they would pay any of us. I don't know if they're still doing that because, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say too much, but you can't. I don't think you can do that, at least not anymore. I don't think you can not pay interns. But I don't mean to disparage it, because it really was a fun experience. It was really cool working with Lawrence. He has a lot of experience and really interesting stories, and just getting a sense for all that stuff and how it's made. So I did that for a while, and then we kind of dabbled with our own little pet projects, kind of writing and filming, and just kind of seeing, I don't know, what it might be like to produce our own stuff. I'm talking about me and Tyler at this point. And to be honest with you, after a while, this was about the same time that we started the YouTube channel, just as like a fun side project. The two of us were doing like Let's Plays. The original name of the channel, if you don't know, was Belmont Bros. And it was just Tyler and I kind of messing around. And it was around this time, because I was working at the same time at Lawrence's and like doing some other stuff. I found that I really actually enjoyed making YouTube content and doing that kind of thing, and that the more traditional film stuff was not as interesting to me. So I don't know. That was when I kind of shifted gears, and the rest, I suppose, is history. And I've kind of been working on the YouTube channel ever since. Tyler's had a full-time job the entire way through, and so it got to the point where he kind of had to take a step back, but we both were like, well, maybe I can just continue on my own. And so I did that. I kept the YouTube channel going. He would help me with things like art assets and whatever. It's pretty cool. Like the rest is history, as they say. Okay, let's see here. Campiati, hey Dylan, which mods will you be trying out today? We're trying out Legacy of the Dragonborn, my friend. Danny says, low-key sounds like a good job if only it paid. Yes, I can't even call something a job unless it pays. Once again, don't work for free. Apprenticeships, essential to quicken the road to mastery. Oh, absolutely. Being able to learn from like a mentor or, you know, someone who has experience, who you trust, it's a really cool idea. Just once again, especially living in LA, it's like you can't work for free. Your time's just too valuable. It just sucks. You don't want to be doing that kind of thing, in my opinion. Excuse me. Okay, so as you can see, Legacy is a very large mod. We're going to go through here just very, very briefly, and we are going to... What are these? These are all activators, huh? Interesting. Oh, that makes sense, because it's a museum, and you put a bunch of stuff on activators, I'm sure. Wow, look at that. Look at that. So many different things. So these are all... I'm sure a ton of these are related to the display. Oh my god, I'm so loud. I'm talking so loud. Poor Liz in the other room must hear everything that I'm saying. When you have these sound canceling headphones on, it's just nuts. It really does cancel all the sounds. Nice. I've been looking into maybe adding that to my US 406 hotfix 2, which I already altered a bit. Do you perchance know if it breaks stuff in a big way in the old room US? Likely, Campiati, or like if you load it, well, you can't really load it super late because of it's an ESM. It might break some things. It's very likely that it would. And the main thing is that it's not going to interact with any of the other proprietary mechanics. If you don't care about that kind of thing, then you might have no trouble like adding it, or it's going to be inconsistent. Some things might break and might not work. The quest parts might be problematic. That's what we're going to take a look at here. Got a bunch of replicas. Interesting. Dun, 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 dun. Bose headphones are pretty good. These are Sony. I already forgot. WH-1000XM3? Is that correct, everyone, that I just said that to? Books. So like something like this, for example, you can see that it makes some sort of changes. I guess it's a new texture. Oh, but it's, you know what it's doing here is it includes the textures from book cover Skyrim, it seems. So a lot of these changes, any changes that we make to these journals and stuff, or perhaps it's better to say any of the changes that Legacy makes to these journals, if you tried to load it into Legendary Edition, probably would not carry over. If you know how to manually patch things in Xedit, like I'm doing here, you would be much, much better off getting it to work mostly, or more correctly, I should say. I got a bunch of cell edits. I'm just going to skip over that. Climax, that's not really what I'm looking at. Even these things, I'm doing them because it's easy to look through, but the main... Oh, I see like stuff like this, any changes that it makes, whatever these are, this container, exhume items, you're supposed to get these, nord list, exhume. So you're supposed to find these fragments, whatever they are, evidently, in places like boss chests and whatever. So none of these changes would come through. You would have to go in and manually patch them, because Ultimate Skyrim changes most, if not all of the, not all, but almost all of the leveled list loot tables. So that would definitely need adjusting. Dun, 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 dun. We got, there's, whoops, dialogue branch, a bunch of dialogues, probably mostly proprietary, no worries there. Oopsie. Doors, effect shaders, these aren't going to matter. The big ones here are going to be the quests. That's what we're going to want to look at. Campy Audio, I've added stuff like Lost Legends already because those are big additional stories that don't really interfere with already present stuff. So that's what I like in terms of new content, Old Run US. Totally hear you. A year or two ago, I would have been semi-able with Xedit, so I'll probably leave out this mod. Yeah, so those mods will probably, like, they won't, once again, work with the proprietary systems. But generally speaking, if they, you know, if they're self-contained, they add their own areas, they add their own enemies, or use the vanilla leveled list for enemies, those kinds of things are generally okay. The thing with something like Legacy is that it's, you know, it's very tightly integrated into the core experience, which means the core vanilla experience, that is. And that means you're going to have a lot of conflicts. Image spaces, huh? Keys. Light. Load screen. Landscape texture. Books. We've already been here, right? Leveled items, sorry, I mean. Leveled NPC. Wow, only one change to a leveled list. Falmer Shaman, huh? What are you? Falmer Lore Master. Interesting. A proprietary enemy type. A few, actually. Hey, Finn. How you doing? Hey, Sacoletius. Hello, hello, hello. Message. Yeah, that's... Who cares there? No problems. Oh, there's our level here. Oopsie. Magic effects. Makes a change to Firebolt. Just casting light. Ah. That's cool. Why does that... Is that on in by default? Magic item. Miscellaneous item. Blah, 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 blah. We're just... Yeah, okay, wow. You can see all these different cards. In fact, this section might be pretty huge since we're collecting a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in this mod. A bunch of different kinds of coins. Excuse me. Some snow elf stuff. Oh, you gotta have a thin old clam. A scallop shell. Look at this. All kinds of... Geez, there is all kinds of stuff to collect. Now, see, this is where things might get a little tricky in the context of Ultimate Skyrim, and I'll tell you why. So you have all these different gems, right? And gems exist as like an item archetype within the game. They're typically involved and useful for crafting, you know, like jewelry or various things. And having something that adds a bajillion different gem types definitely complicates that somewhat. Like, I'm not seeing any sort of... There's no recipes for any of these, so I think they're purely collecting purposes. So stuff like that, for me, I'm never super keen on that kind of thing. I like for items to have a use, and I like them to feel integrated within the game world. And having something that exists, like most of the items in Ultimate Skyrim have multiple uses, right? Like you can use them in a recipe, or they have some sort, or at least this is the vision for it. They're either a reagent for something, or you can use them directly, or you can sell them for a lot of money, and then various other things that we have planned. So that's something I would really like to do a pass on if I integrated something like this. You could do it, it just takes time, like everything else. Movable static, who cares? Music track, navigation mesh. Blah, 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 blah. NPCs, only edits a few vanilla NPCs. And so something like this, too, you have these Imperial soldiers and whatnot that are completely proprietary, which means, like, any changes that you would make to... Like, we make a lot of changes to the default soldier archetypes to make them more powerful and to kind of balance them with Requiem. And so this is where you'll run into problems, is like none of these NPCs are going to be balanced for Requiem or for anything like that. You could look up the textures of the gems, make them into a texture set, and use that texture set to make new jewelry pieces. You could, Sacrilegious. That is how you'd probably want to do that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. We're mainly looking for conflicts here. It's a quest. Okay. Wow. So what I said before about the quests potentially, you know, it touching vanilla quests is not the case at all, it seems. We got one quest. Actually, none. I mean, this one is the book cover Skyrim, so I guess if you want to call that a conflict, but it's not. Hey, Paxton, how you doing? Region. Relationship. Cool. Visual effect. Yeah, noteworthy. This is definitely not just a simple museum mod. But who knows? I mean, if the content's good, new content that is good is generally a good thing. Sound descriptor, sound marker. These things generally don't have conflicts. So, blah, 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 blah. How goes the modding? It goes well, Paxton. I'm giving Legacy of the Dragonborn a quick overview for conflicts and general compatibility. It's always fun to look underneath the hood, just because then I'll start getting insights into, these kinds of things of, like, if we were to integrate something like this, what would it take? Blah, blah, blah. Look at all these freaking things to collect. Here's the texture sets. TBH, if you want to make US work with Legacy, you should contact Ice Cream Assassin, the author. Oh, absolutely. What I would do is I would get everything else working so that we know what we were working with. And then if Ice Cream were, I would hate to take up his, I'm sure, very occupied time. Not at this point. This is just very preliminary, kind of taking a look at stuff. Testing it all out, seeing if it's something that would interest me, etc. Okay, here you would have a lot of conflicts. These are what? Sound? Models? Gotcha. Oh, cool. It gives some of these a proprietary model, it seems like. I always like that because you have, the Galder black bow. I mean, I guess it makes sense for it to just have like the traditional ancient Nordic appearance, but sometimes it's cool when those kinds of things have their own unique appearance, right? I just opened up weapons. What am I doing? And then, of course, it has a bunch of not just replicas of these artifacts, but the artifacts themselves sometimes, I'm sure, are changed. So you'd have to reconcile that with something. All right, well, the other is just going to be world space edit. Wow. Look at all those world space edits. That's an interesting one for compatibility. I'm sure it touches a lot of different areas throughout Skyrim since it's so extensive. Woo! Oof. Ow. Let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? And then we'll get the Open Cities Legacy of the Dragonborn compatibility patch, which of course is an ESL flagged. Thank you, Arthmore. And, oh, here, whoopsie. That ought to do it for now, so we can jump in and see what's up. If we I have Enhanced Solitude on top of this, so chances are, oh dang it. Well, actually, this is good. Sometimes I forget I haven't switched it back to SKC. So I'm actually going to turn that off because I don't want Enhanced Solitude at the moment to interfere with the presentation of Legacy. I'm trying to give that Legacy of the Dragonborn building all the space that it needs. We'll see how it goes. Oh boy. I don't know what it is about today. I mean, I got a little less sleep last night than usual. I think I'm just not being able to maintain a consistent schedule is starting to burn me out. I really got to sit down and figure out how each hour in the day is going to be spent. Because it is... Oh man, I'm starting to get bags under my eyes. Are there any plans to have big/popular follower mods like Sophia or Inigo in USSE? Yes, Campiati. Sophia, actually we were supposed to check on Sophia to see if she was the one that I remembered as being perhaps not quite to my taste. But Inigo's in there right now, so is Lucian. Sophia, Skyrim, SSE. The funny, fully voiced follower. Oh, I saw a reimagine. That's interesting. I always like to look at these. Okay. So with these things, one thing that I do worry about, so people who make follower mods are oftentimes very passionate about the characters they create, understandably. One thing that I kind of find in some follower mods is that it's almost like the player ends up kind of taking a backseat to like the story of the follower characters, which I'm sure might be very satisfying from a mod author perspective. From a player perspective, I think it's a nice change of pace every so often, but like fundamentally, I think these games and like Skyrim and Ultimate Skyrim and whatever, the purpose of it is to participate in your own story, as opposed to constantly having the attention taken off you onto them. But, that's just I'm not saying this is what will happen. I've just seen that with some. Here, let's bop this in.
In the snowy mountains of Skyrim, there was a heroic adventure.
So is my...
She was brave.
Hello, Sophia is fairly fourth wall at times.
Like insulting a Jarl or punching a sleeping dragon. Strong. If you've ever been in a fight with a woman, you should know they always win. Modest. You won't find anyone tougher than me in Skyrim. Not to mention as good looking. A true woman. Damn it. All this walking is giving me a front wedge. No!
A front wedgie?
I think I just broke a nail. Her beauty was far beyond anything that had ever been seen before. I can get away with anything in Skyrim. I just act all cute and innocent, and the guards turn a blind eye. The last person I killed was stiff before he was fully dead. Oh, part of him was. Don't think I don't see you eyeing me up and down. I'm not just eye candy, you know. Oh, and she was incredibly intelligent with many words of wisdom. If you die naked, does your spirit remain naked?
Okay, that's pretty funny.
It's not about how much gold you have. It's about how much of it you spend on me. She braved the harsh, cold climates of Skyrim without hesitation. I'm so cold. I'm freezing my nipples off. I'm freezing. I hate the rain. It makes my hair go all frizzy. And it makes me all wet right down to my undergarments, which is really uncomfortable when I walk. She was loved by all and had great compassion. You seriously couldn't find anything better to wear than that? I shot some wood elf in the bottom and he squealed like a skeever. Everyone wanted to be her friend. We should fetch our good friend Lydia and show her the view. And at the same time, you could show her your new shout. Bruce?
Sure, so...
Has someone told you what I'm like when I'm drunk or something?
Okay. Oh, whoops. What is my...
Did your mom happen to be a troll by any chance? Her she was so ugly she made the Thelma cry.
Okay,
Did I mention she had the voice of a goddess? Down with all the wind, the big ugly beast. On the day of
oh my God.
We will drink and we'll feast. We're the people of Skyrim and we fight for our lives. And when the Dragonborn reckons, everybody must die. Her name is Legend. Her name is Sophia.
Okay. Now that was, a bit much, but I could see it being fun too. It's that this is not the one I was thinking of. The one that I was thinking of is... She's more... It has more like a Scandinavian accent. She's blonde. Who am I talking about? You guys know? Yeah, Vilya in Skyrim. That one, I was listening to it. Same thing. The problem with these follower... It's not really a problem. The thing with these follower mods is that I think sometimes... You can't really just listen to a couple lines and really know whether or not you're going to enjoy it in the game. I think that sometimes I can be a little critical when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I've found, through testing and things of that nature, like with 3D NPCs, for a long time I didn't even really give it the time of day because I was just so convinced that it would just be absolutely immersion breaking, and whatever. And as I actually started to play with it a little bit, there were times when I was like, maybe that line wasn't, quite delivered super well or whatever it was, but what it was bringing to the experience was far more, and it was still worth it. And most of the time, I was actually appreciative of the content that it brought to the game. So I don't know. It's worth testing at the very least. Vilya, Swedish accent. Interestingly enough, she has the best horse combat out of any mod I've seen. Interesting. I don't know how the hell they managed that. I prefer Vilya over Sophia. Okay, so we got Sophia. Vilya. Let's take a quick look at her real fast. Actually, you know what? Okay. Why don't we... I'll table that for now, because you guys know I have a tendency to get very sidetracked. We'll take a look at that later. Oh, shit. I want to close Chrome then. Aw, dang. Please pardon my French. I'll Alt-tab out. How about this? Just for the sake of completeness, we'll take a really brief look at Vilya, and then I'll close this Chrome window so it doesn't eat up all my memory. And, oh my god. Skyrim and Alt-tabbing, baby. Here we go. Vilya... Cringe? That's like the thing. Oh no, I searched that. Oops. I think that was after I listened to it. I was just looking, I think I was trying to look for like, okay, what are the cringiest lines so I can at least see like the, you know, where it gets. Also, I'm sorry, that's terrifying. Vilya in Skyrim 4.0 Russian version. Character story by Emma. Vilya in Solstheim. Sakuletis, you prefer Vilya over Sophia, huh? For what reason is that? If you wouldn't mind sharing. You know that I very much enjoy and trust your taste in mods. Sophia plus any rift and adjustments may cause a decent bit of issue since she has a custom wedding scene there, which I heard breaks quite often. Interesting. Thanks for the heads up, Campiotti. Does this have audio? What am I looking at here? Oh, this is like feature. Oh, these are like follower commands. See, things like this is why I kind of stayed away from follower stuff for a very long time, is like I don't like when followers have their own proprietary command schemes. It's not the worst though, and like sometimes you can get rid of that anyway. Problem is if you add a lot of these custom followers to pre-existing frameworks, then they kind of break a lot of the time. Is there a Vilya? I mean, look at Vilya review. Perhaps Vilya review. SSE. B35 follower reviews. I've seen a couple of this guy's things. I stopped using Vilya mostly because she breaks my brawls. Uh-oh. Workaround was to have Vilya... Oh my god, that is so bright. Was to have Vilya wait in another cell. I was even using brawl bug fixes and etc. Interesting. My favorite female follower outside 3D NPCs is Makara from Khajiit Will Follow. Milk toasting. I've not heard of that one. Makara, Khajiit Will Follow. What is this? These custom followers. Ooh. I do love me some Khajiit. It's subjective. You either love Vilya's voice or hate it. Yeah, follower mods are tough. Yeah, Finn, you and I have both talked about this a million times, how follower mods have... They're a real, a mixed bag, we'll say. But, I mean, really, my opinion shouldn't matter that much on this because that's always been my perspective, so I haven't spent that much time with the follower mods that are out there, and so, really, how qualified am I to say? Dun, 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 dun. Khajiit Will Follow. 4 voiced, marryable Khajiit. Oh, you gotta be able to marry them. Each with their own quest, backstory, personality, and playstyle. Look at that. Okay. Fully voiced, like that. I imagine for... Yeah, I love followers, gives me that D&D party vibe. Totally. Or like the Mass Effect kind of vibe. I love the idea of these followers and the follower mods that are aware of each other. So you'll have, you know, like Lucian will talk to Inigo, or Inigo will talk to Vilya, or whatever it is. That kind of stuff can be very cool. And given the kind of how Ultimate Skyrim SE is so much more packed, and I think you will see players kind of building out like a D&D style party a lot more often, it made sense to me to really dig into these follower mods. So we'll see. I'm going to write this one down as well, because I thought I'd seen most of them. Where's my pen? There it is. And I haven't seen this one yet. So I'm gonna write it down. Khajiit Will Follow. I was gonna say, I imagine for like the voice actors who do these things, I feel like a Khajiit character. I can't do the accent really. I would have to practice before I did it on stream, but I imagine those would be the most fun. to play. Lucian is my favorite follower. I once tried to make a follower control mod so you could swap control to other followers. I've wanted to do that so much, Sacriletius. While I was building out SE, or like what we've got now, I searched, I tried to find everything I could on the ability to do that. As you might have also found, there's like that one mod from 2013 that tried, and kind of, it's a little wonky, but like it kind of got there, but it hasn't been developed since. I would love to just be able to seamlessly like swap between my characters. Like if you have a party member who has different skills than your main character, kind of commanding them can be so cumbersome sometimes. It would just be so nice if you could just swap between them and manually control them, and then have the AI control the other characters in the meantime. Oh, that would be cool. That would be like my dream. One of my dreams. Maybe we'll get it one day. We have a lot of people working on Skyrim still, so it's possible. The VA is really good for Khajiit Will Follow. Gotcha. Noteworthy nerd. Bay loves doing a Khajiit voice so much that he did an entire RP series on his YouTube. That is awesome. I've actually seen that. I've not watched it, but I've seen it say Khajiit roleplay. Balian can do a lot of accents, though. He's got the talent. A lot of followers, IMO and Requiem at least, are pretty OP unbalanced, even vanilla ones like Uthgerd. Yeah, well, especially when they start, like in Requiem, followers are like a minimum level, right? Like Uthgerd, I think, is like level 30 or 35 and has like a shit ton of perks. So it's like you go and get them, and they just like destroy a lot of the early game content. To me, the fact that only you can kill them is dumb, but at the same time they die too much otherwise, then trying to be sneaky with a follower is a pain. Yeah, that whole... Remember in Season 1 of Ultimate Skyrim, I tried to have all of my followers... Well, even then, they were just... they could only be killed by me, and I still ended up killing them all the time. It's just tough, because they are so stupid sometimes. They'll just, like, do dumb things that nobody would ever do and get themselves killed. Requiem and followers is kind of a mixed bag with OP aspects. And yeah, trying to be sneaky with a follower is a huge, huge problem. Interestingly, there's a console command TC, which lets you control the targeted actor, but won't show their inventory, spells, or skills when you're controlling them. What? I did not know that. Anordil, Uthgerd has been pretty weak in Requiem 3.x. That might be true. Anordil, we make a lot of custom changes to Uthgerd, and also I believe we have minor Arcanist changes in there too, which already buffs her significantly along with a few other followers. Alright, cool. Well, we were going to look at Vilya. Got B35. If you guys haven't seen these, this guy does pretty cool reviews. This probably, I can read this on my own time. Seeing here, Vilya's quests mostly revolve around in her own world with her own set cast of characters. This isn't necessarily bad, but it means the quests need to give PC agency, or at least plenty of interaction in the story. When I first played with Vilya, the starting quest was to go to the Eldergrim Sanctuary to talk to someone with a magic bottle. So you get there, and obviously the PC wants to know what the bottle is. The PC has an emotional and time investment as they spent some time talking a bit to Vilya. Then the person she is going to talk to you sends you off on an errand run. This isn't too bad. Well, the PC in the discussion. However, could be off-putting, especially when it's a simple and boring fetch quest. The big issue comes, however, when Vilya afterward doesn't even tell the player what is in the bottle and just has a list of ingredients. Okay, this kills the payoff. Blah, 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 blah. The mod suffers from some problems, namely lackluster quests, minor character voice acting that needs to be improved. Many will point to her immense functionality as something that shouldn't be ignored, and I will agree. Her functionality easily gives her an A+ if I had a category for that. However, what makes a follower is not their functions, but their character, quests, dialogue, and voice acting. I mean, I generally agree with that. I can get functional followers through NFF, at least, you know. Although, I mean, hey, that sword combat, or horse combat, rather, acts more as an add-on rather than a central part of the character. Interesting. Well, I'll leave that for another time. Followers get in the way. Oh, whoa. There's a part in Worm's Tooth that you control another NPC to open a gate or something. It's neat. I do think some Enai mod has a spell or something that can do it too. Okay, well, if Enai is handling it, you guys know that I can fanboy sometimes. Because I know that Enai does a lot of things really well. Followers just get in the way. I kill them all the time. They would die all the time if they hadn't been essential. I changed speech to charisma. The level in charisma depends on how many followers I can recruit. That's right, Sacriletius. Cattles, hello chat and Dylan, love your content. Thank you very much, Cattles. Hazard plot followers aren't essential in the US. You can kill them. My favorite playstyle is to have some follower and healing buffing them while supporting damage from archery. See, I've always liked that. I want that to be an option at the very least. I like the idea of, you know, your character playing more of a support role in combat, whereas the followers themselves are more of the primary damage dealers. I tried to do something like that with one of my characters in Ultimate Skyrim Season 1, but the technology wasn't quite there yet, you could say. We still had some fun with it. But I think something like Nethers would handle that much better. Plotinus, yes, that is the problem. They do so much stupid stuff that I had to make them essential. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at on follower mods too, Plot. Because they really just, they'll get themselves killed, or they'll get themselves killed by me in ways that are sometimes my fault, but frankly, other times not. It's what happens. Hey. Because that's their AI. They just don't... Not the smartest. Windhelm is the oldest surviving human city on Tamriel, though the Palace of Kings is one of the only structures of that era that remains. How about that? Unkillable followers are not that interesting. Yeah, for me, probably the best system would be something where maybe they have a chance to die, so that they're that risk of losing them still exists. Because if they're just straight up never killable, then I agree it can get a little it's less interesting because there's not as much of that fear of, you know, losing someone who you've grown to care about, and also it's kind of immersion breaking where it's like, okay, why don't they die in these situations where they should, and that kind of thing. Like playing mage, so that means you should not step in front of me. Absolutely. Or like even when I'm, you know, not playing a mage character, but I'm trying to utilize things like scrolls. I think that's how I killed poor Jizargo as Hilfred. That sucked. I loved Jizargo. Still do. If there was a way to give followers lives, or if they enter bleed out, they lose one. Once they hit 0, next time they actually die would be a decent way. Yeah, just something that maintains that tension at least a bit, versus the, you know, the black and white options of they never die versus they always die. I don't know. Maybe we can give some thought to that. Or maybe Nethers has some sort of solution for that. I know that there's some mods that would add like a percent chance that someone would die when they entered bleed out, which is pretty similar. I think followers should be killable by enemies but immune to friendly fire. That's actually a pretty good idea, engineered. Or it's kind of funny that it's the inverse most of the time, where they can only be killed by friendly fire. I think I could settle for maybe the damage that you do being reduced, but if, once again, the problem comes with like realism and immersion, where it's, I'm sure if I launched a massive nuke-ish fireball at, you know, the enemy and my followers, like all up in that bag, then they might look a little strange if they're just like, I'm fine. Campiati, if they have a chance to die every time, then I'd really like to be able to tell them, go to the back of the party. Yes, so that would be the other caveat. Alright, since we're going to be spending some time with this character, you guys know I'm going to do it. Let's make, what do I want to make? NPC KO overhaul, but the guy who made immersive horses seemed to offer the option for followers to be knocked out, and if not treated, could die. I need to, so I was planning on using Sneak Tools implementation in Ordil, because I actually experimented a lot with the NPC knockout options that are out there, and there were things that I really liked about NPC knockout overhaul, and then things I liked about Sneak Tools, and then kind of, it was difficult to kind of like decide between the two. For me, the big feature that kind of put me off NPC knockout overhaul is that if you knock someone, I believe this is still the case, it might not be the case on SE, if you knock someone out and they don't ever see you, like you can sneak up on someone completely undetected, right? Knock them out. When they come to, they'll if you're still around, they immediately aggro you, and they know that it was you who got them, and that to me was like problematic enough and immersion breaking enough to where I went with Sneak Tools instead. No, I'm gonna be a girl. Might be only way I made followers work was to only use Sunfire spells. That could be it. But yeah, I was gonna say that a lot of this too is contingent on having a reliable way of getting your followers kind of to listen to you when you say, like, don't be in the way. You know what I mean? Like, get the hell out. Nethers is kind of cool in that regard because there's a force solution where you can just hit a key and have them teleport straight to you, which you can use as kind of like you can rationalize it as like, they're following my orders. They wouldn't be running in when they know I'm about to launch a giant fireball or whatever it is. Also, this is a badass preset. Pretty cool. The eyes are creeping me out. It looks cool. Bro, Tyler, you can't be posting my email address like that. My Adelphia.net. Look at that dirty elf smile. Oh yeah, plot. My first character became a resto spell sword because I got bummed. I kept killing Stenvar as soon as I got higher level destro spells. It's like, how do you not? They're just, the higher level you go, the more you have area of effect spells. I've been able to view a follower's inventory, spell menu, perk menu when I swap control to them. Yeah, alternate actors does it. That's the one I was talking about. Sacriletius was alternate actors. If you could just find a way to, like, I don't even have to have like full inventory control or things like that. Like maybe some sort of limited ability to use powers and stuff. Like that would be cool. Maybe like a separate interface that would kind of get around that limitation. Because it does seem like maybe the toggle command or whatever it is a more stable approach than what alternate actors is doing. Tyler says, we'll post DP's social security number at 75 viewers. Let's do it. Because then I'll get that achievement on Twitch. I'll unlock additional emotes if we can. No, wait. If I can get 25 people chatting at the same time, then I unlock additional emotes, which I'd be down for. You know, 75 viewers, maybe I'll get an achievement for that too. I'm sure it's worth having my social security number posted on the internet for anyone to see, you know? Gotta get that clout. Let's see. Oh, that's terrifying. Let's zoom in here. Oops. Whoop. Okay, those are beautiful eye textures, right? Eyes are the window into the soul. Scary. Cool. Scary and cool. Look at these. The eyes of beauty. I love that you can see where they're coming from, you know? Alright. Eyes match the hair. Hey Tayson, how you doing? What alternate actors does is just change the player's appearance and race menu to mimic them looking like the targeted actor. Oh, I don't like that. That can get wonk. It's likely already on the internet anyway. It might be, Finn. It might be. Thanks, Tyler. These armor textures actually aren't even edited yet. I mean, they are a little bit, I think. There's probably like one of the texture mods might be looking at them, but there's a real good one that's it's called Midianborn, and oh my god, those textures are beautiful, and they're getting ported soon. All right, what do we? All right, first name that someone gets me, I'm naming her. As long as it's appropriate. Hit me. Hit me. Bob. There it is. Gramilda. Fuck. I really like that one. Bob Milda. Continue. I gotta stick to my word. The next character I make will be Gramilda. Gramilda the Wood Elf. I think it's time to stand. What do you guys think? Hey. I need to stretch more. That's the other thing is like my who said earlier, someone said, Plot, was it you? It's like schedules are the bane of burnout. I think you're right, because if that's true, then the inverse should also be true, that a lack of schedule is a huge it's fuel for burnout, and that much I feel like I can confirm. Alright, let's do it. Guys, where am I? Oh, you guys want to see the Windhelm docks real fast? It's really cool. Oh, and I think you can also see holds. Yeah, check this out. Oh, wait. Can you? Do I have it enabled? Maybe not. Oh, you know what? I do. But it's not Open Cities enabled. But let me get my pad. Pad. Come here. Ah. Oof. I gotta say, this thing is great in particular for stretching your calves. Shit hurts. Ow. Oh, it's beautiful. So, Holds, for those of you who don't know, also edits the like the Windhelm area to like expand it quite a lot, and it's super cool. Am I getting multiple edits here? Oh, the Open Cities patch. Oh, is that supposed to be there? I can't tell. I think it is. Hard to say. Oof. But so it adds like a whole other district to the city, which I think is really cool, especially if I combine it with Open Cities and all these other things. I want you to be able to climb around on shit, you know? For some reason, that just feels like the ultimate thing to me. Let's go check out the very frame rate. Where's my frame rate indicator? Oh, God. I think we have some sort of nav mesh issue happening here. You can see we have a... Whoa! This is what you get with unpatched Skyrim, boys and girls. There was an awesome looking mod. Oh wait, Alien-born unique items and Dragonborn DLC got updates today on LE. What? Finn, you talking to me, like, by... Whoa, what the fuck? This is all the... What's it called? Windhelm Docks. I didn't realize they made so many changes to this particular... Hold on a second. Game hour. 12, so that way we're bright. I didn't realize it added this much stuff to this stairwell. This is a little cramped. Are you talking about an edit from Cabal? Or are you talking about from Cryptoper? Because she's working on those now. There was an awesome looking small mod in the extra mods yesterday called Alternate Training. Unsure if it's on your list or if you've seen it. For training, it gives a permanent bonus, a temporary buff, and an experience rate buff for that specific skill. Seems to fit in really nicely. That's an interesting idea, JC. I have seen a couple of those like alternate training mods, but not that one in particular. Might be able to fit it in somehow to our plan changes. So, take a look at this. Tell me this isn't like the coolest shit. Ignore that Windhelm Sewers Grey Quarter. Like, this to me looks like what docks would look like, you know what I mean? And you can see the frame rate's really going to tank here because there's a lot of stuff. That would be something I'd kind of try and go through and maybe reduce it a little bit. But I feel like it's really, really rad. Let's see here. Finally got a chance to catch this live. Never played US, but what you're doing looks fantastic. Keep it up. Love listening to the streams, dude. Thank you very much, Gladiator. Really appreciate it. Sorry it took me so long to get your message. You shouldn't play US. The gameplay's too addictive. Oh, you. And will ruin other versions of Skyrim completely. Updated Dragonborn DLC. That's very kind of you to say, Plot. To include the Bone Mold hotfix and a correction for the Ashman folder name. Updated unique items to include the Staff of Magnus hotfix and updated the Dragon Priest mask. Meshes to include changes from U-Sleep. That's crazy. I didn't even know that Cabal was like still in the mix, you know what I mean? So something I'd like to change here is there's no like reliable way to get to the other part of the docks. But they're cool too. So I actually kind of prefer this to Windhelm Exterior Altered, at least at a glance. Once again, there are changes that would need to be made. Like you've got some buildings I can show you that maybe not down here, that don't have actual cells associated with them. Argonian assemblage. So like this one, you know, there's nothing there. So you'd want to add something just to keep consistency. But one thing I've noticed is that this mod does not use a whole lot of static clutter. Even the static clutter that it does add, or the static clutter, yeah, that it does add, will generally be like a container that you can access in that way. So I like that a lot. This is all Skyrim radioactive, just so you guys know. Tavern of the Crescent Moon. I haven't been in here, but I'm telling you, the creator of... So you can see over there, it looks like a legitimate docks, which I'm finally, like, I feel like that has been a long time coming. But the interiors is what I was going to say. This author, I thought the exteriors were pretty grand. The interiors are fucking even more detailed. And it kind of makes sense, I guess, because the majority of the content in Skyrim Radioactive is interior edits, but they're oftentimes very detailed. Why is this flipping over? Oh, see? Because it's static clutter. It's no good. Come on. Oh. Yeah, I don't think that collision data is quite correct. Oh, no, wait, actually, that's correct. That's definitely how it's supposed to work. There it goes. But it's really nice. We'll go check out what's it called, Solitude, on our way to Legacy the Dragonborn, baby. Hey, Wildy, how you doing? Small hot fixes. Howdy, Wildy. 100% play. Ow! Play the SSE release. Just cracked my arm. Only found out about it from his YouTube series and was only on Ellie, so looking forward to this. Hell yeah, Gladiator. Looks natural. Static clutter. Yes, static clutter is no bueno. So you can see, like, this one doesn't have a cell associated. And there's a lot, like, every one of these docks and things has, like, a ton of objects. So I think that you could probably reduce the amount of stuff just by a little, like enough to kind of increase the frame rate just a teensy bit, and still really maintain this really cool detailed feel. You can see it just, like, I think it's really, really nice. I really like the exterior as it avoids the sprawling look of some extension mods. Yes. Wait till you see Solitude, because I'm telling you, like, I think it'll illustrate exactly what I was talking about the other day in terms of, like, what I mean by, like, a logical kind of layout and construction. I think it does a really good job of that. It's clear to me that the author kind of thought about... Oh, can you use this? Oh, that would be cool. You can turn that into an activator. Hoi! It's clear to me that the author really thought about how these areas might be laid out logically and tried to kind of make changes based on that, you know? Oh, of course, Doran's house. You gotta have Doran. Oh, look. I never noticed this. Where does this go to? Yeah, so having this, and also keep in mind, we do have open cities running at the same time, so this whole area is just completely traversable, you know? You can go into and out of the city. Where does this go up to? Oh, we got some broken down shit over here. Pretty cool. Never noticed that. I didn't, like, super extensively look through this area. I was just kind of investigating. Number of the barrels just look like they would be bumped into and fall into the water. Yeah, so things like that you could just get rid of. Oh, uh-oh. I think this is supposed to be not here. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to come around to here, but it doesn't look like there's, like, an entrance to the city or anything over here. Check this shit out. Boom! Oh, we're in Windhelm now, baby. Oh, the market. How about that? Full on Windhelm. Sup? Chickens. Sup? This guy. Bunch of junk. Let's see. Windhelm portal under the bridge is inside ETAC wall. Oh, ETAC clockwork patch. I gotcha. Exactly. Maybe if I can get permission. Windhelm portal under the bridge. This is cool. I missed the mod name. What is it? Skyrim Redactive is what it is. So Elroy says it's Sky. Oh my god, guys. Skyrim Radioactive. It's specifically the docks modules. Campiati, do you have an ENB enabled currently, or is this without an ENB? This is with an ENB. We got, okay, so the Windhelm docks here is actually less extensive than the Solitude one. You want to see a real frame rate drop. I'm going to go Solitude Exterior 01. I'll show you what a real frame rate drop looks like. But I really like this area. It's very, very cool. SE looks great, right, Cisco? Oh yeah, so this ENB is a slightly modified version of Rudy. I've kind of made some slight performance changes. Do you have an ENB enabled? Did Dylan ever realize I gave him a raid last weekend? I did not. I'm sorry, Tayson. I didn't realize. There's supposed to be like a notification for when that happens, right? Alright, so we got some snow. I'm going to get rid of that, though, so you can see it in all its beautiful glory. Set time scale to 10. Let's go ahead and run down the hill. Oh, gotta have my god mode, so I have infinite stamina. What the fuck you say to me? No, you! And let's hop over this fence, as one does. Oh, here it goes. Boom, baby. And interestingly, it only touches this side of the docks. So in theory, you can run the Solitude docks over there. Why are there LODs? Maybe Open Cities patch? Who knows? LODs for something. Are you guys ready? Ow. He became very frustrated. Wait, oh. Strange. Remember there was a Bethesda community manager who had a job to coordinate mods so they would be more integratable. That's not a fun job to have. What are these LODs? Don't know. That's not what we're looking at. There you go. How about that for a docks district, am I right? Let's get some nice, beautiful, clear weather in here. Wowee. You're so into what you were working on. He became very frustrated by some mod authors' fairly restrictive IP policy. Yeah, that seems about right. I'll tell you, here's my hot take real quickly on that. I think that it's pretty... It's like, I think the mod authors have a lot of IP rights and they should be respected. The one thing that gets a little weird is like needing permission to upload like a patch that still uses the original plugin as a master. That I feel like you should be able to do without much restriction. So anyway, here's the docks, right? Here's this part. You could add another docks district over there. It's fucking cool, right, Tyler? So this kind of addresses... I was investigating some docks mods the other day. Just all different ways to make these cities feel a little bit more sprawling. And what I was saying before is that it's very important to me that these locations are laid out in a way that makes sense, that someone actually would lay out these areas if they were, you know, building, like, the docks. If you kind of... Like, I find that some... expansion mods, we'll call them, just they pack in a lot of stuff, but there's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason as to why things are here or there, or just, you know, to the layout. So you got stuff like this door probably isn't even supposed to be an activatable. Some of these you just can't go into at all, that one included. Like these ones you can't, there's nothing here, so you'd want to put a cell in there, but a lot of them you can, most of them you can go into. And they're very, very cool. This guy sells stuff over here. Where is he at? He's usually around here somewhere. Oh, maybe not right now. Bro, where'd you go? Well, he sells stuff off this thing. It just looks really rad, right? Like you got this cool spot. These alleyways and whatnot. Where's that? There's a shop that I went into. Is this it? No. Are you my mother? Where is it? I know it's somewhere right here. Avripa. Knockin' shop. There it is. It's back this way. Hello, Miss Lady. See, she sells stuff. Jeez. Was it here? Yes. So, I went in here, right, just investigating interiors, and I was like, yo, this looks amazing. This is like a fucking shop and a half, you know what I mean? Let's see, I did notice after several hours. Ooh. It was Dark Fox, wasn't it? I did notice after several hours, lol. Yo, that looks pretty as heck. MXR got sued for even making a video of a mod. What? Sacriletius, which mod? If you remember, plot, yeah, that's why I took most of the expansion mods out of my latest mod list, slowed everything down, but didn't add enough immersive content. That's kind of how I feel. It's like, I'm fine with the slowdown, especially in these city locations. I mean, I'm going to try and reduce it as much as possible, of course. I'm okay with some performance when I'm in a city because, you know, generally it's not quite as action-y there, so you don't need that slick 60-plus frames per second all the time. You having some trouble there, my friend? Here, I'll just give you a little nudge. Right here. Whoop! Nice armor. There you go. You got it. But it's like, if you're gonna introduce the performance cost, it should come at a purpose, or for a purpose, something that enhances your experience and your immersion, like this, for example. I think this is grand, or like this docks area outside. It makes sense to me. It looks like a you know, it looks like a real docks area. Wait, we haven't even gotten to the best part yet. Gladiator said, oh wait, Connor says, these alleyways remind me of Novigrad from The Witcher 3. That is the exact feeling that I had, Connor. Here he is. He must have been off somewhere else. And that's a feel that I am welcome, or that I welcome. It's a feel that I am welcome. Got storage, so you got all these things. There's like a tower kind of in the middle of the bay here, which like you could probably, I guess it kind of makes sense because it's on this like rocky outcrop, right? So that's kind of cool. But you just have this beautiful look at the Solitude Arch. Gladiator says, do you not get performance drops in open cities? When I run it outside of Whiterun, I lose at least 10 FPS when I look towards the city. There are performance impacts, Gladiator, just undoubtedly. It's not quite as much as I thought, which probably is just because of Special Edition. But there is some, but to me, this is the part that I really like. Get rid of some of this fog. Also, I appear to be maybe dropping some frames. To me, the impact that it has on your gameplay and immersion experience is worth whatever the performance drops have been thus far. My computer's pretty powerful. My processor has... I have decent components that have been pretty good for a long time. They're getting a bit dated now. I have like a 1080 and an i7 4790K. So they're definitely worse computers than mine. There's definitely a lot of better ones now too. And like, this performs pretty well, even on my, you know, probably what you'd call mid-range hardware at this point. This is SE, so it should be able to handle it. That shop is amazing, but Havoc physics will completely hose it when the player bumps into things, unless it's static clutter. But, Rangda, I am holding out hope, God, for the fixed Havoc script that makes things not go all Havoc crazy, but does allow them to remain as interactable objects instead of just static clutter. So you can see this is the coolest fucking thing down here, am I right? Oh, I discovered the Solitude. Obviously you gotta do some landscape fixes and all kinds of things like that. But this, to me, I think fits pretty well how a dock's layout might exist, like realistically. And that is the biggest consideration. You want to see something super cool. You even have, like, I actually came in this way the first time when I was evaluating this stuff. I came down this hill to check out this area and find my way in, because there's actually not a way down besides jumping off the cliff like I did, which is something I'd probably change. But so you have, of course, the Solitude sawmill, right? So this is vanilla content. You got this beautiful sawmill here, excuse me. And so I walk down here, and what do I see? Is kind of a dock loading zone specifically for lumber, right? Like, this is the area where ships come to pick up lumber from the sawmill. And when I saw this, I was like, okay, we've got something here, because clearly the author is thinking about, like, what makes sense, right? You know, how this would be laid out, what would each area be used for. That I really like. That's kind of what I'm looking for when it comes to these types of mods, and it looks really cool. Now, obviously, we got a bit of performance reduction stuff that we can fix. It's not really a fix. They've just packed in a lot of cool shit, and you know, to try and make it palatable for a wider range of machines, we can do stuff like that. It's very, very cool. Yes, Sacriletius, this is Skyrim Radioactive. I like how this looks real-life cluttered. Needs some people doing work, though. Yes, and you can actually add more NPCs on Special Edition, have it not be a huge deal. You want to have some little fucking children, urchins running around and do all kinds of stuff. I've been playing games since Amiga 500, so graphics and performance is not that important if the gameplay is good, IMO. I agree with you for whatever it's worth. Obviously, you try and get all of it, but if you can't, then I'll definitely take the gameplay over the performance, the graphics. Oh, Z Fighting, my old friend. Oh, wow. Looks real nice. I just joined, so I don't know what mods you were looking at. It looks really, really good. This is Skyrim Radioactive, Rangda. That's their docks division. Also, fun fact, see this floating wheel? I'm pretty sure it's just like that in vanilla. I always thought that it was like mods doing that, and I got rid of all of them, and it's still there. Maybe a bit much trees and grass. I'm loving the idea of more places to rob. Oh yeah, Finn. I've thought about that a lot too, is like adding these actual, you know, buildings that have stuff in them so that you can be a thief. I want that. I want that badly. Very nice. Still Skyrim radioactive. I like how it looks real life cluttered. Yeah, milk toasting. I was just thinking all the things you could steal. Open city gate, baby. Hey. Oh, Rogveer. What's up? Oh shit, I forgot they did that. Oh no! Oh, they just killed Rogveer. It looks so, what's it called? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm surprised. I didn't mean to. Please stop. I didn't think they were gonna attack me. I'm just used to Skyrim being so non-reactive most of the time. Fuck. I apologize. I can't believe that they just unceremoniously killed Rogveer like that, just to make sure that he was dead before pursuing me. Wow, that was awesome. I don't mind low-res textures as much. I do mind unrealistically small cities, aka the vanilla cities. Yes, Sacrilegious. Frankly, I mind super low-res textures as well. If they're like kind of low-res, alright, I can deal with it. If they're real fuzzy, then I'm like, I'd rather get them at least a little bit higher res. And Ordil, those doors look amazing AF. Yes, we have glorious doors to thank for that. Who is the author of that mod? Can someone please find out? Because it really is incredible work. Same thing, look at these. Why do we have, is that some sort of, is that a Z fighting? Or is that just some sort of strange shadow? Oh, it is. It's like a weird edit to it, I think. These doors, look at that shit. It's amazing. So nice. Or like the Windhelm door. Let's go check it out. Oopsie. Set time scale to 10. Set game hour to 12. It's daytime now. I actually put a bucket under the block for Rogveer's head. I saw some streamer playing ball with his head, so I put a bucket to prevent that. I mean, it makes sense. They do just kind of let it roll around, don't they? Need to add that mod to my load order as well. Hype, that's right. How could I forget? Of course it's hype. Look at this beautiful thingy. It looks better if we get some lighting on it. I mean, it looks fine right there. I mean, it looks even more amazing. Set game hour to 18. Where's the sun at this point? Other side. We want morning. Game hour to 9. Where's the sun? Shit. To 15? Ugh. Where's the sun? It's over there. Can't really. It's kind of not really gonna get it. But it looks really nice, trust me. Like the specular and stuff on it, I mean, not just like the texturing. It's kind of hard to tell. You can see kind of like the slight reflectivity up at the top there. What the hell? This is more, yeah, Windhelm racism. I'm testing that mod. Just adds more racists to Windhelm, which makes sense to me, but I was like walking through Windhelm and then someone started talking to me, and it was one of the NPCs added by that mod, and I swear to God, I could not understand anything he was saying. I thought he was supposed to be like crazy and speaking to me in a totally different language, which might be the case, but it might not be either, so I don't know. COC, Solitude. Okay, Rogveer, I promise I won't interrupt your execution this time. I love performance and graphics. Built the current rig to handle Witcher 3 on max. Wow. What a beautiful game, right? Really, really impressive. The old rim with US nets me 20 FPS. Oh no. Well, oops. There's ways to increase the performance, but honestly, I wouldn't even bother. Not until SE comes out. Please don't use enhanced light or NFX or RLO. Flickering is killing me. Find a way to enhance vanilla light to fix the problem. So Cisco, that's not really... What we can do is you can use those mods. We just need to reduce the amount of light sources. And to a degree, as long as people are walking around with like torches and stuff, there's probably always going to be at least a little bit of issue there, but there's definitely a lot we can do to fix it. The one that I'm using right now, relighting Skyrim, and ENB or ELE, is that enhanced lighting for ENB, does a pretty good job already of preventing flickering. And for the areas that are still problematic, it's not too bad to just go back through and adjust them manually. Hello. I'm done with this place. Solitude is going to be the true capital city of Skyrim, the way it was always meant to be. Where even is the Dragonborn Gallery? I don't know. Maybe we'll find it. The beautiful Bard's College, of course. To be fair, I use Suki E and B on Insane. Well, that's why. Although, to be fair, also, you should be able to and have it not. If you can run Witcher 3 on max settings, then, I don't know, you should be able to do that. Also, dude, isn't Suki E and B, like, freaking beautiful? That's one thing I will miss, is that we won't get to use Suki E and B on SSE. Although, frankly, Rudy has been real nice. Look at this. Beautiful. Got some death bell. Is this supposed to be here? I think so. Just making sure. With a little trial and error in Oop. JK's. Yep. Trial and error in CK. I've been able to fix most flickering lights in my mod list. Nice, Tayson. It happens when there's more than 4 lights. And it's so... That bug is up there with, like, the most annoying bugs in the game to me. That one, because it's just so needless from what I understand. Like, they could have allowed us to have more than 4 dynamic lights. Is that custom music? Okay.
I'm sorry, can I help you? The museum is currently closed until further notice.
Is there something I can do to help?
Well, you do look the adventuring sort. Perhaps you can. You see, we are in need of a vast array of relics to display here at the museum. And I'm afraid that the mercenaries and treasure hunters I've hired thus far have proven to be more trouble than they are worth. Perhaps I can give you a chance, however. If you can bring me
This guy's voice actor is good. The music's getting in the way.
If you prove to be successful at retrieving these relics for me, perhaps we can discuss
And it's mixed a little weirdly. It's a bit fuzzy.
Excellent. Well, first
Or like compressed or something.
on one of the 6th House Bellhammers of the House of Dagon. They have become increasingly rare. One apparently was stolen recently by some bandits, apparently held up in Broken Helm Hollow.
I'll increase the game volume in a second, guys.
By the Silent Moon bandits. The item is known as Den Stagner's Ring.
Okay.
It's likely still in the hideout west of Whiterun, if they haven't fenced it yet, that is. And lastly, a small shipment of Arkaviri relics is on its way across Skyrim, bound for Markarth. Amongst the items were some jade carvings. The caravan, however, was attacked.
Okay. Wow, this is a lot.
And it's likely they may be in possession of some of the relics. Find what you can, and I'll pay you well for it.
Okay. Whoop, alright. So I can show you my audio settings or music. Why is... Okay, so something's changed my audio settings here. Voice should be up. Music can be down here. I'll turn it up in general in a second. But, so, we've got a kind of a weird issue here. Oh, wow. It must be Sounds of Skyrim, I guess? Or one of the other ones. I've actually not been in this menu in a long time. Hey, Peon, how you doing? So, the initial impressions, that guy's voice actor is really good. That is... And it's mixed extremely well, recorded well. That is solid. That was gnarly. So I can see if he's going to be kind of like the main guy here, right? That I think is cool. That's promising because he's really solid. This music is weird. It's the song I'm sure is fine. Like, you know, the content of it, I can hear the compression, or it just sounds tinny and kind of fuzzy, for lack of a better term. So I'm not super keen on that. That's the kind, and it's one of those things where like the second I walk in the door, I'm like, okay, this is modded content, music. I don't know about that music. Of course, minor complaint. Now, another thing that is obviously noticeable is that our first 2 quests here are taking out bandits and Forsworn. The bandits, you know, could be tough. The Forsworn are generally a lot tougher in Requiem than they are in vanilla. So I worry that we might have a balance here that is intended specifically for vanilla. Of course, you know, it's realistic, I suppose, that dangerous people end up in the possession of these artifacts. And that's definitely not a point against the mod by any means. So we can just go and check it out. Is that better, guys? We can hear Sacrilegious. I'm tone deaf, so I don't mind this music. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, for me. And it's, to me, once again, the music itself can be fine. It's like, okay, in my mind. But it's the mix that I'm having. It's like immediately the music that I'm hearing. In fact, I want to pop that up. Of course, I don't know. Let me, hold on a second. Let me talk to somebody just so I can get kind of a sense for how loud he was compared to them. Yeah, okay, so he's a little quiet compared to them. Which, you know, you can fix that relatively easily. It's kind of annoying to if you want to make a pass for the entire vocal track, but that, I would pretty much immediately remove that song, I think. Audio. Music, I'm going to up a little bit because I like it. Tone deaf, so I don't mind this music. Minor Arcana Forsworn. So the Minor Arcana Forsworn are not currently in the install on Legendary Edition GK. Or there's like little elements, but generally speaking, I left the Forsworn a little less strong. They're a little stronger than Vanilla Requiem, but not nearly as strong as the Minor Arcana Forsworn were. So you wouldn't be going straight up against like endgame level acting. Or sorry, endgame level enemies. Sorry, I was reading Sacrilegious' message. Tone deaf, I don't mind this music. Also, I can't differentiate good from bad voice acting. I can see it. Well, let's put it this way. I mean, well, if you're talking just pure quality of the recording, that's the kind of thing. If it's really bad, you'll notice right off the bat. Otherwise, I think if you do audio work, that kind of stuff will stand out a bit more. So I hear you there. However, if we're talking like immersion, then I mean, I would say if you're listening to voice acting and it feels like a contiguous part of the world and it doesn't bring you out of the experience, then probably it's pretty good. I think is a fair kind of way to look at things. Let me bring up my journal. An interesting prospect. Jade Warrior 2, somewhere in the Reach. Oh, so it's just like a oh, interesting. So it's not even at a specific spot. It's just kind of like, well, the Forsworn might have it. This one's in a specific spot. On the 6th House Bellhammer and Broken Helm Hollow. 6. And these are storied, at least this one. That's a big deal, that artifact. So it does, okay, so immediately, alright, this is one of the things I kind of was always a little concerned about with Legacy of the Dragonborn. It immediately assumes that you're the super awesome power fantasy guy. I get that, you're the Dragonborn, like whatever. That's generally not my deal, but alright, fine. Let's just assume that he's like testing me or something. Yeah, fetch quests begin. Well, I don't mind fetch quests. Everything is a fetch quest in one way or another. Go here, do a thing. Bring it back. I do like some I get what you mean though, Finn. It's like versus kind of more RPG, kind of like moral decision type things. But I suppose we have, this is just like, it's optional content like anything, you know? Let's see here. GK, it's only later on you're the Dragonborn. Yeah, I'm not saying he's assuming I'm the Dragonborn. I'm saying that the game logic is assuming that I just go around and casually clear entire camps of extremely dangerous humans, right? Like what he's asking me to do here is something that, like in Requiem, for example, would take at least a mid-level character to do. It's not like in Vanilla where it's just like, go and fight some vampires at level 2, or go and fight some Forsworn at level 2, kind of thing. But of course, I don't want to be overly critical. We'll just kind of see as we go. That's true. Hazard's got a good point as well, where it'd be pretty easy to apply the Requiem formula of unlocking the quest at level 20 or whatever. Uh-oh. Don't shoot at me. We could gate it. That would be, or even just give him some silent dialogue for being like, I don't think that you're necessarily, like, who I'm looking for, like, at this time. Like, something like that is very doable, so it's hardly a reason to try and, you know, discount quests or whatever. Hold on, sorry, I missed some stuff here. Tried MA on SSE, was like, holy shit, during the Sid and Mine quest, those Forsworn are insane. Yeah, they're nuts. They're, like, straight up high-level enemies. Spirit werewolves, if it's crackling or too loud quiet, I can notice, but other than that, people sometimes say VA is bad, and I can't hear it. I think the first quest is an assume. It'd be pretty easy to apply the Requiem. When I did Lexi's LOTD, even though I enjoyed it, there were so many artifacts and such which looked terrible or completely unimmersive. It's very geared towards a specific playstyle. IMO can be used by anyone, but it's such a mod to dip into. Legacy of the Dragonborn story entertains the idea that the Dragonborn is a Shezarene. It's a thematic thing you'll pick up with the later story quest. LOTD was too much for me. I just borrowed some of the unique weapon models. Mainline gate it to after you get called by the Greybeards. Good idea. Oh, that's an interesting one. See, that is problematic. I mean, that is a good way of ensuring that non-Dragonborn characters can't do the stuff, which would fit the whole... I know, like, the Ice Cream says, he's like, this is intended for the canonical aspect that the player is Dragonborn, so I don't blame him at all for not, you know, allowing for non-Dragonborn characters, as I said last time. So, you know, that would be a good way of maintaining, like, consistency. If you're not the Dragonborn, you can't even do it. Hey, fuck off. What if you don't play a Dragonborn? Yeah, so that the problem there would be that if you are not the Dragonborn at all, you're essentially just locked out of the... you're locked out of the Dragonborn content. That was a kill move, but it was in first person, so I didn't really expect it. Stop! Boom. Ow. Then you don't have a legacy. Or only get the quest after you kill Alduin. That definitely wouldn't work, just because if you're able to kill Alduin, you're able to pretty much do anything almost in the game, Requiem style. Look at me, I'm winning. Gotcha. Gotcha. Boom. I'm so sick. Boom. Boop. I don't even know why I'm bothering to kill these guys. Just want to. You know what I mean? Stop. Hello. Stop it. Nice hair. Are you? Bop. But yeah, it's like, I almost might be okay with that, Finn, just because it's like you can, you know, like, I think a lot of the players who aren't playing Dragonborn content, I don't know, it's tricky, because it's like you could be a very storied adventurer who just isn't a Dragonborn. Some people want to play that way. I almost wonder if most people who are playing non-Dragonborn characters aren't already kind of pursuing less, like, adventure-y type content, which is why I feel like that could be a viable solution. Oh! Okay, these are way cooler in first person. Way, way cooler. That was brutal. Yeah, a lot of NPCs at this camp. I like all the stuff you can steal, like gems. Yeah, so maybe it just adds in stuff that way. I don't know. What do you guys think is a reasonable solution there? Because there is a problem whereby the quest content itself, and therefore a lot of the collecting, and even just the ability to donate things to the museum, it seems, will be gated by the player being Dragonborn. Or at least it'll think that the player is Dragonborn. Does it gate you out of its main quest by Skyrim main quest progression? I think it does at a certain point. So we might have some difficulty testing this. I'm going to have to start moving fast then. So it's already... Oh my god, is it already 142? Could gate it to simply clearing BFB, as that's general gate itself in Requiem. Sure, it's just how do we then deal with the assumption that you are Dragonborn in what I'm sure is like the dialogue and other stuff. Because at that point, I guess there's just like... You're just going to come up against a point where... Oh, shit, it's going to turn off my FPS limit. Where they just start referring to you as Dragonborn, you know? I don't know. That's an interesting consideration. I'd have to think about it. For now, I'm at the right place, right? I am. Find the Den Stagmer's ring. Is it not in here? Might not be. Oh, no, it is. Okay. Alright, so I've got to do this fast, so sorry, guys. My bad. Oh, look, we cleared the dungeon. We're so sick. Ah. Nope. Fuck off. Boop. Huh? Where we got? I got a lunar sword. We got a... What am I here to get? Oh, it's in here. Oh, I got Dinstagmer's ring. Nice. Pretty good. I like the idea of it being gated until completing the first Greybeard's quest. It's... Oh, outside of main quest, it doesn't refer to you as Dragonborn, weirdly. Orion is more like my friend who brings me shinies. Okay, well, if that's the case, we can see. Let's see exactly how much it does, you know what I mean? But I was going to say, Tayson, therein it causes a weirdly opposite problem where it's like, okay, oh, cool. Excavation sites will yield fragments and occasionally keystones, which can be used at archaeology stations to create artifacts. All right, that's interesting. It's like a whole... Look, it's got its own like animation and everything. How about that? Also, great integration to that tutorial. Just like, hey, you found this, you need to know this. All right, cool. You got it. I like that a lot. Oh, wow. We've got a little skill progression of some kind. I like that. I was going to say, Tayson, the weirdly opposite problem then becomes, like, why can, you know, non-adventurer characters... Or, sorry, non-Dragonborn characters not donate stuff to this museum? But, of course, does BFB imply already that you are Dragonborn? I can't remember. It's just, I would want for people who aren't Dragonborn to realistically be able to donate stuff as well. So far, it hasn't said anything about us being Dragonborn, so right now, it could still ostensibly be that we are non-Dragonborn. So we'll try and look for a point at which that becomes weird, because right now we're just talking about, like, assuming that it will become weird. It hasn't yet, so we'll see. I think it would be cool, yeah, exactly, to do a non-Dragonborn archaeologist with it, just depend on how it handles the quest progression. Exactly, Milquetoast. Plot, I think killing the dragon qualifies for some reputation, at least in Requiem. Oh, hell yeah. Yes, it does. How about gate the part at which you'll be assumed Dragonborn? That's what we need to figure out, Sacrilegius. And then, but that might also be kind of a blue balls if it's just like you're allowed to like progress up until this point. But once again, I don't know what it's gonna do. We don't know how it's gonna try and gate that. So let's see. Let's find out. You can beat BFB before ever getting to Whiterun and Vanilla, which is nuts. Okay, not that. So I think we just need to kill generic Forsworn, right? I can do that. The J somewhere in the Reach and the 6th and Broken Helm Hollow. What is Broken Helm Hollow? ¿Dónde está? There we go. Guys, I found it. Thank you, Sky UI, for your beautiful features. Tayson, is that the Vedozabram grass? It is not. It is verdant. Yield classic verdant. Finn says, I think there's... Oh, and Peon says BFB doesn't require you to be Dragonborn, as far as I know. Stop! Cool, that's good to know. Thank you. I think if you gated off the main quest, but left Explorer Society for everyone, that might work. What do you mean, Milquetoast? Can you be more specific about that explanation? Is the Explorer Society, that's the legacy of the Dragonborn Museum, right? Kill all. Gotcha. Okay. Oops, no. So you're saying... What? Jim? I like this guy's name is just Jim. Guys, I killed Jim. Oh, I heard him splash. Interesting. Script a courier to bring a message at that point, which will bring you back to Orien. These are all interesting ideas. I feel like we'll have like a good idea of how to proceed once we test it far enough. Check this out. Bop. Yeah. What's up, guys? How you doing? Blah. So once we see that, then we can figure it out. Cisco, my name is Jeff. Jeff, we're gonna find you and kill you as a bandit. What little I played at LOTD was fun. It wasn't pure fetching. It had some good RP and things to discover. I hear it also has a quest in there that begins after collecting certain items. Cool. Spinning death animation hurts me. Dude, it's so realistic. Let's get it. Uh-oh. Ow. What am I doing? I'm going over here. Look at me using quest markers. So immersive. There we go. Aha. Is this added? No. Open. Also, can we get a shout out for these underground textures? Looks pretty good, right? If I do say so myself. This is from Skyrim Underground, actually. Sorry, Underground, not Skyrim Underground. But Underground is the textures for underground areas that is created, actually, by the same guy who does Majestic Mountains. Same person. I don't know. It's a guy, actually. Where are we at here? Haha. It's, oh, it's right here. Ooh. Wow, how did I not see that? Just right in front of me. Alright, we got it. Sorry, I'm on mobile. I don't know why my phone can't handle the word quests. I was wondering if you were, like, referring to something specific there. It was like Kiswer. One Amulet of Kings Dragonborn stuff. One is nerds doing digs. There's two big lines. One seems non-Dragonborn friendly, but I can't remember exactly if it is. COC. We're going to... What's a good Forestworn camp? Excuse me? You guys want to see a big pet peeve? Oh, and I started to say this while we're on the topic of pet peeves. Very annoying bug, having only 4 lights, dynamic lights at one time. From what I understand, from what I've seen from people who work with building engines in this way, they really could have... And if this is not true, then, you know, disregard. But I think it's true that they essentially could have allowed us to have more. They were worried about performance problems. It's one of those things. It's like, okay, well, why not just let us configure it ourselves before, instead of like hard locking us? The other big problem is that havoc physics bug, where if you get too far away from a certain point in the world space, it breaks down, so you can't have really large world spaces. That shit sucks. Also, what I was gonna say. See this? See the way this works? In the local menu, you click and hold, drag, move it around wherever you want. I really like that. Why does the main area not work like this? Why does clicking try and fast travel me or put down a marker? Annoying. Leave it. Just seems like consistency, guys. Pick one or the other, but more importantly, pick the one that I actually like. Okay, so we do have a spot here. Reach Water Rock. Alright. See, Reach Water Rock. 01? There we go. Probably locked it to 4 purely for the sake of consoles. Yeah, but it's one of those things like a console person can't change that anyway. You know, it's like they can't even... Oh, whoops. Back outside. Like, there's no way they're going to be able to change that. Why not just make it like an any setting or something, you know? Finn, what doesn't sit right with me? Why are all these artifacts in Skyrim? Yeah, I can see that. Oh, Orion addresses that, Finn. Same as most other artifacts. Yeah, it's one of the things they didn't bring over from Fallout 4 of the SSE port. I know. So, Peon, what I understand about that is that they started working on Skyrim Special Edition a bit before, and like while they were working on Fallout 4 too, and it's just like the build was too early, so they couldn't port it over. Yeah, they fixed it in Fallout, and I'm just like, ugh. Default to 4 allow tweaking, exactly. Same as just like every other kind of tweak. It's like the eruption of Red Mountain plus dragon energy. Maybe not the best explanation, but they do try. I feel like, you know, even if it's not the best explanation, the fact that there's something goes a long way towards your personal immersion. Even if it, I mean, unless it's like blatantly like, okay. But if there's something in there and it's decent enough, that to me is fine. Consoles are their biggest customer base. The actual modding community is only a small niche compared to the total customer base. That is true, but once again, it's like, why not allow that to be a setting that we configure like every other setting that we're able to configure, you know? It's like all the console people can't change any of those other settings either, but they still allow us to tweak them. Maybe they'll do it as a Creation Club paid mod. That would be fucked up. That would be not cool. Alright. Where are we going here? Where are we at? Ahaha. So I'm just staring at the... Wow, look at this thing. Beautiful jade. Oh, I thought I was over encumbered. I was just walking. Necrophilia banned. TBF consoles never even had mods for the longest time. Yep. It's true. I have a question. What is the name of the cell for Dragonborn? Nope. Help. Explorers. Nope. Help. Legacy of. Nope. Shit. Alright, fine. I don't have to run back in here. We gotta figure out the name of this cell. Anyone know? Off the top of your head? That was a little disturbing twitching. Yes, Tayson. That is a feature of enhanced blood textures where I typically don't like cloak spells that apply scripts through cloaks. It's, you know, not great, but if as long as you don't have too many, you get to have fun little effects like that, where sometimes you'll kill somebody and they'll just be like twitching, which that was kind of a strange example of it, but a lot of the time it does actually look pretty nice, I think. Like you strike someone down and they're like, ah, ah, and then like squirting blood out. Just kind of makes it look a little bit more brutal, you know? There we go. I'm gonna up my speed here. Player.forceAv. Speed molt. Let's go 180. That's a good amount. Whoa! Nope. Do Blue Palace. What about Blue Palace? You want to see it real fast? I think it's Dragonborn Museum. Oh, teleport to Blue Palace. That'd actually be a good idea. I'll do that next time. I think it's Dragonborn Museum. Gotcha. Help Dragonborn Museum. Oops. Not quite. Maybe Dragonborn. Here we go. That's getting us somewhere. Cell. Looking for cells. Dragonborn Hall. That could be it. What is this? Oh, they called it the Hall of Heroes. So maybe Hall of Cell. Oh, Hall. We're getting a lot of stuff there. Yeah, there we go. DBM DG Hall of Heroes. I think that's it. COC. Let's just double check. DG Hall of Heroes. Sacrilegious. Well, they didn't even add footprints in the snow in SE. Imagine a game where snow is a main theme, not having footprints. Ellie, it's understandable. For SE, it was the perfect opportunity. Dude, I wish... Oh, shit. I've teleported myself to a place where I'm not quite supposed to be. Oops. But I think we're in the right spot. We're downstairs. I thought we might have been upstairs. Excuse me. Oh, this sounds like a different song. The same thing. I can hear that the mix is a little fuzzy, but the content of the music sounds fine. It's almost a shame, you know? Or it is a shame. I don't have Blue Palace Terrace yet, Tayson, but I'm gonna grab it. Oh, Museum Exterior. Thank you, Noteworthy. That'll probably be the best one to use.
Excellent. Yes, I have just the place for this. Thank you.
Yosh. I found the 6th house.
Ah, phenomenal. Let me have a look.
You guys hear his voice acting, right? It's pretty good.
Exactly as described. Good work. Here's your pay.
Like, this dude could be a vanilla voice actor. IMO, at least thus far.
Very good. And in excellent condition, it seems.
Something to do with the lighting thing here. It looks like it has to be specifically applied to lights rather than something associated with a player. Huh. Wait, can someone click that? Or can you guys tell me what's up with that? Because I have exhausted every possible thing I can to fix that lighting issue. I know so many other people do too. One of those extra docks makes the museum plus airship look less jarring on the landscape. Normally it just dwarfs the rest of the city. Yeah, hopefully, Milk Toast. That should be all the artifacts you needed.
Very impressive, my friend. You are certainly more than a mere treasure hunter.
Okay, so I like that in that line alone, we've now acknowledged that this like task that I just did is quite an accomplishment. Yeah, see, like this.
And relics on their own, while I continue my research efforts.
Yeah.
And you have proven yourself more than capable of the job.
Yeah.
And I think a special arrangement could work. Instead of me simply buying the relics off of you, perhaps you could...
This was recorded at a different time. It's now quieter.
I'll give you an occasional finder's fee, and we'll safeguard your collection for you. You'll be able to access any and all of your collection as you see fit, and you'll know the rest of it will be safe in your absence.
You guys hear how the it was a little quieter there? That's like so I've a hobby of mine. It's not really a hobby, just a thing that I like to do. Is listen during shows for audio that is ADR'd versus recorded live. Essentially, that means audio that was recorded after the fact. I think it's what ADR stands for, something dubbed recording. I can't remember, actually. I should know that. Alright, sounds good. I'm stuck in dialogue.
This building was once called Wagnerian Hall. It was built as a temple dedicated to Talos, the patron god of the Nords. After the White Gold Concordat, however, the statue was moved and the temple closed. I came here a few years ago and was able to procure use of the space in the pursuit of establishing this museum. Of course, I have had the building vastly expanded over the last 2 years to accommodate what I hope will become one of the grandest collections of Tamrielic history in the world. This grand atrium I call the Hall of Heroes. It is where a variety of historically significant relics can be displayed, and is quite a striking entrance to the museum, if I do say so myself. Off to the right is the reception hall and staff barracks, as well as the museum office where I do much of my work. To our left, you'll find the central hallway leading to all the other galleries of the museum, which also serves as the cultural arts exhibit. Here, I hope to display a variety of art, as well as elements representing the more primitive cultures here in Skyrim, such as the Falmer, Forsworn, the Giants, and more. Down here on the lower level, you will find access to the East Exhibit Halls, which houses the Daedric Gallery, the Hall of Lost Empires, Hall of Oddities, and the Hall of Legends, which showcase a vast array of relics pertaining to the Daedra, Dwemer, Falmer, and ancient Nordic cultures, as well as a number of peculiar items that defy simple classification. At the close end of this hall, the stairwell will lead to the armories in the basement,
Okay.
up to the second floor. There you will find access to the Natural Science Gallery, as well as the Dragonborn Hall, where I will commission a variety of displays heralding any of your accomplishments. At the far end of the hallway on both floors, you'll find access to the Grand Library, and here on this floor, the door on the right also connects to the museum office. If you cannot find me in my office, you will almost certainly find me whiling away the hours in the library. Also, you should pick up a copy of the museum guide at the entrance of the museum. We'll let you know the schedule of where I'm working should you need to find me, and it will offer you an easier way of navigating the museum, as well as keep track of how many displays...
Here, I'm sorry, I'll turn on the subtitles.
Museum.
Guys, this is pretty fucking cool. Oops.
Has. Of course, it may take me a moment to update those accounts, so check the guide again if you feel the numbers seem off. I'm sure I'll eventually account for everything. Any items you find for display, you can either manually place them yourself, or utilize the prep station in my office. And I'll ensure everything you have gets properly displayed if it has an appropriate place. I'm likely to have a variety of tasks for you, but in between, I'm sure you can help me find a random relic or two I've been researching. Feel free to look around and come find me if you have any questions. I'm very excited about the prospects of where we are headed.
Motherfucking Skyrim Blathers here. I'm very impressed by what we just had. When we walked over here and he turned and pointed at the stairs down the hall, I was like, okay, nice touch. That is solid. Oh man. The VA is spot on to Skyrim. It is, Valerie. That's like I said. This voice actor's doing an incredible job. Soda Pop Cool, love this mod, super cool mod. IK if it fits the US, that'll have to be your call, obviously, but it's super cool and impressive. This mod is like a haven for hoarders, Skyrim Blathers. LOTD needs something that would be best off level gated as later game content based on what you're trying to do. I've not played the mod so far. It sounds like you acknowledge that collecting this stuff is not easy. Yeah, so that is good. Of course, we still have to see how the quests will be structured, because even asking us to do that stuff versus like asking us to go after like vampires or something could be rough. And you could always like chalk it up to, you know, him like just being that like, you know, museum airheaded type who's like, yeah, you know, just casually go after some vampires. Like, how hard could it be? It's almost funny in that way. See, I'm listening to this music, and I like the music itself. It does sound a bit like compressed or like tinny to me. I don't know. This looks like a custom model. I can see kind of the repeating textures. I wonder if... Is it? Maybe. What's up? Tell me about the Hall of Heroes. Anything new for me? Where should I put up displays? What's next?
Very simple. You keep doing what you're doing and stop in here for time. Have a look around and find a spot to display it. I will commission and build exhibits based on those.
Yeah, see, it's way quieter there too.
Anything of relevant consequence can be inspiring to the people. Well, here in the Hall of Heroes is where you should place any artifact of magical or historical nature. The Daedric Gallery, of course, is where anything related to Daedra should go. And the Hall of Lost Empires is where you should display any and all items of Dwemer or Falmer nature. The armories you can display as you see fit. Lastly, the Gallery of Natural Science. If you bring some samples of flora and fauna, you can build fauna displays and plant them.
Yeah, it's the levels between the different audio recording sessions are a bit different. It's good to add early because you have to collect a ton of stuff to get quests anyway. You can just get safe storage and hoard it until you unlock it. You could. I mean, you could argue that the quest, the initial, if what we just did is the initial quest, right? You could argue that it works as a sort of gate in and of itself. Because, you know, it's like either you are able to do what he's asking you to do or you're not. So if you can't, then it's not like you're going to progress any further. And if you can, then you will be able to. So there just might be about the only like weird bit would be like if you're some sort of like scrub, you know what I mean? Like some sort of like literal level 1 peasant. You're gonna walk in and he's gonna be like, you look like an adventuring sort or something like that. In that way, it might be useful to at least gate it to like some level, like I don't know, 5 or 10 or something like that. But beyond that, it would not be perhaps all that hard to do.
I have in fact been researching the location of an artifact of interest. If you have the time, you could investigate it. I'll mark the location on your map. Let me know if you uncover anything.
Nice, nice, nice. Bye, Aryen. Aryen? Get rid of that. Fine. Oh, it's on the world map. Where are we headed? Adia's farm, huh? Wow, it's hard to... You would think also, like, hey, Skyrim UI designers, like, gee, wouldn't it make a lot more sense to make the quest marker color, I don't know, different and or, like, stand out from the rest of all the shit that you got? I mean, I probably don't have it tracked, so that's my fault. But I know it's not that different. I'm sure there's a mod out there that handles that. Where is Atius Farm? Windhelm? Let's find out. Oops. Snowing a tiny bit. Wow, May 21st, Canada. Wait, am I... What? Adius Farm location for art of... Almost doesn't matter. Someone new to Requiem gets killed every 2 minutes by something on the road. It's true. Dude sent me to Raven Rock, huh? Well, that's okay. I want the travel between these areas to be a little bit more, what's the word? Like common. Like, if we're going eventually, what I'd like to do, of course, is give you all of Tamriel to explore through the wonderful work of the Beyond Skyrim team. I've always disliked the idea of balancing Solstheim the way that it's kind of been balanced by some of the Requiem patches, where it's more like you don't even go here until you're like level 30 or something like that. I want every area to have suitable content for like all the different levels. or more or less. And so I want the idea that he sends us somewhere to like Solstheim to like get a thing. That shouldn't be that big of a deal to me. Like, you should be able to go. Is the notice board / missives in US at the moment? If so, could you add a note to the board? New museum opening, adventurers needed. Theoretically, yes, Sacriletes. I've actually been looking. I've only looked like in a cursory way at this before, but I've wanted to use the missives board as like a general notice board for just like the town's kind of events and stuff going on. Thus far, it's only, you know, used for quests, or even having like a separate notice board, something that I could use to populate with like the local shit that's happening, you know, in town that people could check. And I would very much like to have that so that you could have things like that, or so that we could kind of add kind of like contiguous ways or logical ways of warning people about difficulty spikes, things like that. There's been people, for example, who have run into trouble with some of Requiem's named NPCs. For like a good example is Ron the Crow, who's at Silent Moon's camp. He's much harder than your average bandit, and there's really not. And like Requiem is this way. We've talked about it a lot within our team, where there are a lot of things about it that aren't really explained anywhere, and so you can kind of end up really dicking yourself over by tackling content that's way too hard, and you don't really have a good way of, you know, knowing that. So even having like a little notice board that's like, warning, like, Bandit Ron the Crow has been operating out of Silent Moon's camp, like, any travelers, like, steer clear kind of thing, like, he's very dangerous or whatever. Hazard says you could start Dawnguard at level 1 if you go there yourself. I think the quest should not be blocked if you go there yourself. Worst that can happen is you discover you can't do it yet. Sure. Solstheim. Isn't Solstheim part of Morrowind? Yes. Yes, it is. It was gifted to Morrowind. Yes. I'm of the opinion of completely getting rid of level gating on quests, like being able to start things if you go to it. Yeah, I mean, Finn, I'm in the same. It's like, oh, it kind of makes sense, but also it is cool if you can just, like, part of the fun is being like, oh, can I do this? Like, I'm pretty low level, but, like, can I manage this? Like, if I am, you know, smart about it or with my certain build or whatever. I'm not a big fan of level gates. Once again, there we're working kind of against how the game is structured and trying to make it pretty different. Sacriletes, I did block Dawnguard by blocking the gate until the Hall of Vigilant is destroyed. Yeah, there's actually a mod that fixes that, I think. Where it doesn't... Like, I think there's one where it's like you visit the Hall of Vigilant at least once. Hall of the Vigilance. And then it, like, something fixes about how, like, you can have the Hall of Vigilance be destroyed before ever visiting it, and something about the quest logic that it fixes. My first bandit quest was Valheim Towers, and I thought all bandits would be like that, and it was just that bad. I did it finally, then hit Redoran at like level 20, and was like, what the fuck? Yep. It's like, that Valheim Towers is definitely one of the worst. It might not be so, what's it called? Different in terms of experience now, with all the other populated mods running. Oh shit, there it is. Alright, everybody. Shall we? Also, unrelated, I think after this stream, I will be able to make myself into an affiliate. So we finally did it, everybody. Fingers crossed. Alright, well, let's go outside. Or I can just do this. COC, DLC 2, Raven Rock 01. Ow. Dawnguard alternate start route is that mod you're referring to. Awesome. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Tayson. We just got to get that seven days out of the month. Hold on. Gotta stretch. Oh, look. Beautiful Raven Rock. Whoa, I forgot that I'm fast. Alright, where are we at? Excuse me, I almost burped. Tel Mithrin. And we got Wreck of the Strident and Squall. Old Addius Farm. There it is. Cool hat. Looks kind of Bloodborne-y. In that mod, you can still manually go to the Dayspring Canyon at any level. I completely blocked the entrance with a notice from the Jarl of Riften that the passage is closed. And locks after Isran goes there, namely when the Hall of Vigilance is destroyed. That makes sense to me, Sacriletes. Oh, we're at this place. I was going to say, where are these guys at? Hey! What's up? Boom. Wow. Oh, okay. There we go. Bro, I got your back. Oh, that guy just disappeared. The models for these guys are so... I leveled up! Wow! It's been a while since I actually managed to level on a character that I've been testing with. Boom. Boop! Ow. No, me. Fine. Look at those models. Very cool. Blah. We haven't looked at our girl, actually, have we? Look how cool she is! I'm sorry, this is like one of the coolest character designs we've had yet. Bam! Badass. That's an adventurer. That's why he said that to us. He just saw one look at her and he was like, you look like a badass. You want to collect my stuff? Odin, how you doing? Let's see here. Looking for... Did I stop tracking it? Search Addy's farm location for an artifact known as Ash Rock. Oh, is it not going to tell me? Is it going to make me actually search? That would be cool. Hello? It told me where all the other ones... Oh! Woo! Gotcha. Return the relic Ash Rock War. I like that. You might have missed this. Just a warning, the sequel of Legacy of the Dragonborn, called Odyssey of the Dragonborn, will not be compatible / consistent with Beyond Skyrim, Iliac Bay, Morrowind, and several others. So you have to choose which one you want. You can't discover all of Tamriel, Odyssey, and Skyrim unless you don't mind the illogical duplicate locations. What? I assumed I probably shouldn't, because as we've said before, you know, assuming is a bad thing to do, and you shouldn't do it, is the expression. I assumed that they would be kind of making that in conjunction with Beyond Skyrim. Interesting. Well, I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Of course, that assumes that we still add Legacy, which is not a guarantee by any means. It's a lot of blood. This is your blood.
I wasn't sure I'd make it off this farm alive.
Yeah, I can see that.
Wish I could have said the same for my man here.
Oh, is that his blood too? Oh, alright. I think they plan to, but they are moving so much faster. Who's moving faster? They didn't in the end. Which team is moving faster? I didn't activate the marker. Oh, Cisco, I hear you. Thank you. LOTD. Oh, gotcha. Well, that's tricky. That is a tough situation to find yourself in, I'm sure. Maybe they can, like, I don't know. You know, LOTD does their thing. I understand the idea of not wanting to double up on work. Whoa, what the fuck? You guys see that? Weird. It maybe like it'll, you know, once Beyond Skyrim is further along, then someone can, if Ice Cream is still working on stuff, then maybe he will want to integrate it then, or someone else can take up the mantle. I get how that works. It's like, it's tough to kind of wait in that way. You guys ready for a swim? We did it. Okay. Can you run to Markarth faster than you can fast travel? That is not my video. Not that I know. I don't think you can. Oh, you mean in, like, the amount of time it takes you, or that it takes away when you fast travel? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I think the fast travel estimate is a little bit or liberal, I guess. Hard to know which word to use in that instance. We're going back. What is it? We're gonna go to... Well, it was museum exterior. It's not just... Oh, shit. It really is that easy. Odin says, are you going to patch all these mods and locations for Requiem, or is there a patching community for SE? Some people do help me. Like, I have a team, they help me with stuff, and sometimes people come along and offer their help, you know, for patching, but everything else I just kind of do myself. Everything that we don't cover as a team, or that doesn't have, you know, volunteers for it. Someone brought up an interesting idea the other day of creating, like, a public repository for things that need doing. So, like, maybe something like that could work. Like, if there's people who... Oops. Oh, shit. I'm in... Well, we can't use that one because we're in fake solitude. Here's what we gotta do. You look like the guy that ramped up the run speed via console commands. I actually have done that right now. I do that all the time. Shit. Okay, well, we're gonna have to do this then. COC... Blue Palace actually would work. Solitude Blue Palace. Some crazy person blessing him in advance will probably at least try to do that. Oh yeah. You can by using COC commands. Are you going to patch all these mods? You look like the guy that ramped up. Wait, are you a mod author? Yeah, Sacriletius is. Are you talking to me? I also am. We both are. We author mods. What a beautiful palace. Palatial. Wow, you know, so looking at the ceiling, kind of compared to what we were looking at yesterday from the blue palace texturing, this also looks a little weird, doesn't it? Maybe not quite as, but it does still look a little strange. Ow. It's a cool idea. Then it just needs to be approved. Make sure it's a well done patch. Yeah, that's like the trade-off, of course, is that like I work with my team because I've worked with them for a very long time, and I know, you know, like we've worked together. The quality of their work is commensurate, and I can absolutely trust that will be the case with anything that they handle. You obviously kind of have to build that relationship with other people, and it takes some time, of course. But if you're saving time in the long run by, you know, accepting help from other people and only taking the time to kind of evaluate the quality of what they're doing, then, you know, you're still saving time in the end, I suppose. Hey, bro. Oh, we gotta get a museum guide, he said. Let's see. Oh, commemorative plaque. Patronage of Megumi, whose generous financial contribution to the museum have been greatly appreciated. Is this a patron? Is a patron of Ice Cream Assassin, by chance? Because if so, which, don't get me wrong, I think this is a really awesome idea. I try to do something similar for my patrons, right? Where it was like, oh, you know, if you are at this tier, then like, I'll like put your name in the game as like a thank you. And everyone on the Nexus mod author forums pulled out their pitchforks for me to try and get me banned by Bethesda for quote unquote paid modding. Like, oh, thanks guys. It's cool. Oh, I got my curator's guide. What do you need tech-wise to make mods for PC Skyrim? A nice drafting program? It depends on what kind of mods you're trying to make. 6.6. You can... I like if you're trying to make, you know, models and 3D models and things of that nature. Then you would probably want to get some modeling software, learn how to use like NifScope and stuff. But there's a lot of different changes you can make that wouldn't involve anything like that. The Curator's Guide is the complete guide to the Dragonborn Gallery. It contains lots of useful tips about the museum displays, mechanics, quests, and more. You can also use the guide to instantly move to any room in the museum. Wow, locate Aryan and keep track of your total display count. How about that? Noteworthy nerd. Yes, he has Patreon tiers allow you to get your name on one of his projects. See, I think that's a really cool idea. I don't know. I probably just the fact that I was doing it and that a lot of them were still pissed at me from before with the quote-unquote proposed paywall scandal maybe is why they brought out the pitchforks for me and not him. Although, to be fair, I have seen a lot of them bring out pitchforks for virtually everybody, so maybe they would do it for him too. Who knows? Or for, what's it called? People making... There was like a big controversy when people can make ad revenue off of YouTube videos. It's a tricky situation. On the one hand, I'm sympathetic, because I know at least some of them are like, why is it that mod authors are the only people who aren't allowed to, like, you know, make any sort of money off of their mods, which is fair. Like, they're doing work, and it's like, it seems like everyone else is able to, you know, monetize in one way or another. But of course, that's not really something that's, like, in the control of someone like Ice Cream, or me, or the, you know, YouTube people. He has Patreon at GMAD Forum is a Pitchfork Emporium. Yeah, I mean, I eventually just, like, after I dealt with that controversy, we'll call it, I just had them rescind my access to the GMAD Forum, because I was like, I just don't think it's healthy for me to have access to this for, let's just say, the general attitude. There were some people who were very kind, like Robbie is definitely one of them, but there was definitely a lot of pitchforking, you can say. What mods have you released? Yes, Ultimate Skyrim is my project. What would you like to do? Find Aryan. He can be found in the East Exhibit Halls. Wow, it even gives you a little quest update too. You did the Ultimate Skyrim video series. Yes, that is correct. Here I go. Blam. Oh yeah, you can use the command. Wow. This is the area that you can add. Yes, you check this out. Install or remove additional racks. Check this out. Blam. Whoa. Racks. Remove them. Cool. I think that's a fun mod. That's a nice and fun mod. Where you at, my boy? Ooh, wow. It is kind of funny that these plaques are here before the stuff is there. It's like, wow, real presumptuous of you, my friend, that you're gonna somehow get a hold of the Ogma Infinium. Where is he? Is he up here? Did I miss him? Or he's in a different room? What's up, dog?
Do you have a question?
Makes, that's your baby? Yes, it is. It's my baby. I found Ash Rock. Dude, I found Ash Rock War Axe. It's kind of a tongue twister.
Ah, splendid. Nice find, my friend. Here's a little something for your efforts. I'll go ahead and display it.
Thanks, Aryan. Much appreciated. Wow, and he actually pays me like an appropriate amount of money. How about that? Because like that thing was worth, I think, a bit more than that. IRC. Alright, sweet. You got another job for me? No?
Daedric, and as such, I have placed various enchantments to contain their powers and prevent those viewing them from becoming overtaken by their...
Oh, so you're like an accomplished mage, too.
Planted barriers will also dampen their energy to prevent Daedric forces from seeking them out by suspending them between planes of reality.
Yeah, damn, dude. That's some pretty intense magic right there. Aren't some of the items you find usable weapons? Yeah, Finn, I think the one that I just had was one of them. Something explode in his face. Max, that would be the infamous blackface bug. Essentially, he doesn't have face gen data generated for his sick new hairstyle here, so he's going to have that bug. Now, aren't some of the items you find usable weapons? Just you wait, they're name plaques for skulls of various Dark Brotherhood victims. See, I like the idea of that. It, to me, it would make sense then to tie the plaques to like when you get the thing, you know what I mean? As opposed to you having the also, geez, I don't know if you should, I don't know if that's cool to have in a museum. It's like, look, here's the skull that our Dragonborn illegally murdered. Paul, it's his legacy of the Dragonborn. In case you, in that case, you can create a replica if you still want to use it. Does your mod pack change the initial bonus stats from the races? Oh yeah, but that's Requiem that does that. Requiem now, use the alt start, you start as a relic hunter. Requiem makes those changes, yes. Okay, clear it up, same. Oh, the plaques are named from the start. That's what I mean, like, but okay, just have the plaques not appear until you've collected the thing that is, the plaque is supposed to describe, you get what I mean? Just like tie the appearance of the activator to the object. Like have this be like an empty rack until you've got a thingy to put on it, and then the activator appears alongside the thing itself, you know what I mean? Like if you can do that for the thing itself, you can definitely do that for the activator, or for the plaque rather. Wow. Anyone know the cell name for the safe house? Some say coming soon until you get the related quest. I gotcha. Well then that's another thing too, it's like, why not have all of them say that? It's like, why? It's like, do we know for sure that we're going to put the Jade Priest here? I mean, I guess if he's been researching, like, the artifacts or whatever, it just seems a little strange. Filter the Phantom. Yeah, see, like, these things are just, also, this is, like, supposed to be glass, and I can kind of see that it's got, like, a glass texture, sort of, like, right there, but it's very... very transparent. It's like the cleanest glass that has ever been constructed. Full seriously awesome. Thank you, Noteworthy. You guys want me to check out the safe house? DM, DB, M, DG safe house. Get to see one of the houses that we can have. Ooh. Very solitude. Is it raining outside? Must be. Is this like a balcony for me? I think so. Or maybe just the front door. Turn on the lights. It is raining. Ooh. Guys, look, the docks. Wow, how about this? Got our own heckin' balcony. Ooh. How about those thunder sounds, am I right? Oh. Unlock. Buy a greenhouse outside. Dope. I go, this brings me back into the other room, right? Yeah, here we go. I like that. Logically consistent. Rain looks really nice. And yeah, them thunder sounds. Open. Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, we got stairs? I love stairs. Hall of Heroes. Cool. I see how you get here. And look, with open cities. Look, I'm running around on the Blue Palace. Ooh, what is this? Oh, I thought that was a door. Guys, I've done it. I'm a master thief. I kind of like the placement, too, because I don't think this will conflict with that many things. The Legacy of the Dragonborn, I mean. It's like, right here, I'm going to save. Whoa! Pretty cool. You would totally die from this fall, am I right? What a badass. Also, gotta love that E&B auto, what's it called? Wetness. It's kind of, you can't really tell that much underwater, but you can if she gets out. Very, very cool. Sorry, I just wanted to do that for some reason. You ever just get the urge to run and jump off of a world in the video game? Dun, dun, dun. You would definitely die. Conflicts with Solitude Skyway and Blue Palace Courtyard. I hear you, Sakura. Solitude Skyway, at least for now, I'm probably going to do away with because of those problems we were talking about. And because I was thinking about it, and I was like, wouldn't it make more sense? Well, you could look at it as like a defensive thing. Like if, you know, like a boat ever tried to come into the bay or whatever, and you didn't want them to, you could drop stuff on them. But, otherwise, I was like, wouldn't they just put like a bridge like on the ground for people to do, unless someone just carved the Skyway a long time ago? Oh wow, holy jeez! See, stuff like this, I'd rather just have regular weapon racks, because this makes it look like I have all this stuff and I don't. But I appreciate what they're going for here. It's pretty cool. How do I turn on the lights? Is this it? No, it's just a cool airship in a bottle, baby. I got an airship in the bottle, baby. There we are. Sweet. Is that the lights you were talking about? Look at the chandelier. Oh. Ooh. Pretty. Cool. Those loading screens have backpacks and lanterns in them. Makes the mods feel more integrated. Yes, sir. Or madam. Is it going to have CGO? Maybe. I miss Rudy EMB. I play SE now. Rudy EMB is on SE. Max power. Oh, I don't have the EMB command. I didn't even think about that one. Look at this beautiful tree. Oh, actually, that does look really nice. Up here. This looks like a custom model as well. What a beautiful home. I almost want to change the wood texture, because I have some ones that I really like. No way, I did not know. Yeah, that's what I'm using right now. Paul, would you consider using a Sky UI skin like Dear Diary or Adventurous Theme by El Sopa? Maybe. Maybe Dear Diary. Perhaps. I would just need to make sure it's completely consistent. Oh. Frickin' beautiful. Oh my god, look at this tile at the bottom. Now this is a bath. Did I do it? Did I hit it twice? Oh, turn on the jets. That's what I'm talking about. Got some soap. Oh, see, static clutter. Why does it do this to my machine? My poor machine. Something about static clutter just does not like. It's like the very computer itself is agreeing with me that static clutter is no bueno. See? Why? You step away? Fine. Doesn't concern me. I think the old combo Wildcat plus Ultimate would be better for the moment. CGO has an amazing idea. The animations really turn off the immersion. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that, Max. It's a problem that we've been trying to figure out. Same thing here. Static clutter. Something in there that it just does not like. I bet I haven't tried to like track it down. Might be able to. Could be a fun. Ooh, that looks nice. Be fun. Look at that EMB reflection. Boris, you're a madman. Whoop. Bah. Sweet. What else we got? Hall of Heroes requires key. Do we explore everywhere? Oh, I got a kitchen. Nice. Storage closet. Yep, that is a storage closet for sure. Cooler door. Oh, I got a cooler. Whoa. Nice. Got some stuff. Open glass door. Oh, is that the same texture? It must be. This really is. This dude's... I mean, I suppose if he can cast spells to, you know, suspend Daedric artifacts in between planes of existence, he can probably figure out how to keep glass clean. Alright, sweet. Shit, well, so do I have to just go and find stuff then? Before I can, continue with the quest? Maybe I can... Ouch. Oh, I forgot I turned off God mode. Thank God for vanilla. Health regeneration. I love using Wildcat plus Requiem. Stuff appears in those when you store it. You can pick it straight out or off the table. Food, I mean. SE testing. Yes, Pix. Hey, Reggie. How you doing? I've already asked you a million times. I don't know which to refer to you by.
What can I do?
Alright, guys. What do I do to progress this?
This central area is called the Hall of Heroes.
Yeah, mortal enemies is super necessary. But, I mean, to progress this quickly. Like, can I just add stuff?
Like I mentioned, it seems really unlikely relics are gravitating.
Oh, wait, he's saying it.
How can I help?
Oh, he gave us the explanation for why all these relics are here. He's like, I've noticed all the shit's coming to Skyrim. Alright, I can do that. Oh yeah, that's right. They want me to collect just all kinds of stuff, huh? Alright, let's do that. Also, I got... God, is it already 2:35? Okay. I gotta sign off at 3, my friends, so I'll probably... The next stream we can do this too, because there's obviously a lot more to test here. Or at least partially we can do this. Help. Go steel armor. Wait, you can have... Can I... Do I just put it on the racks? I remember it said there was also a spot that I could put it to. Was this it? Let me check my convenient curator's guide. Oof. Move to museum, read guide. Turn display. Displays. You can place any unique item which has a display. Clicking the display. All items put on display are stored inside the museum's display safe location in the museum office behind the Hermaeus Mora painting. Safe is for emergency use only. Wasn't there a place that I could just... in museum? Yeah, here we go. Use all items from your inventory which are not already on display and not equipped, favorited, or added. Will be placed in the museum safe and the display enabled. There's one prep station. Prep station processing displays cannot be replaced. Museum office. The museum office was... Okay. Sounds good. The office was over here to the right. Right? East Exhibit Hall. Was it here? Museum shipments. Oh, that's cool. Was this the office? This looks like an office. Also, I just suddenly made myself sick by zipping around so fast. Oh, look at this. There's a custom bit of armor. I guess that's what he's wearing out front. Cool. Shipment planner. Shipment planner allows you to choose which delivery locations you would like to have enabled. Oh, you can send stuff. It has its own, like, the little delivery system. That's cool. 5 hours. I have kind of my own plans for delivery and how that works, but it's really cool that it, you know, has us handling this stuff. Falmer Hexing Shrine. This is interesting, this idea that you can construct these. That's a little strange. From, like, fragments. Ooh, that's a nice model. Versus just, like, finding them, you know what I mean? But, alright. Back wall, gotcha. Is this it? Display prep station. Rad. And it's cool, like, this is how museums work, you know what I mean? You have, like, an area of the museum where everything has to be, like, prepped, essentially. Station will automatically take any applicable display items, no. I would like to. I gotta get naked first. Or just add a bunch of stuff. Okay, here we go. Wait, I'm wearing steel armor, right? Oh, so I got iron, I got steel. Take this off. Let's go glass armor. This is usually the first. Oops. Oh, this is gonna be somewhat tedious. 13939. I mean, I feel like I kind of have a pretty good sense of how this works. I would like to get to the point though where, yeah, I know, Sacriletes, I'm not super huge on configuration books either, but what can you do? Sometimes, I mean, there might be a better implementation. Hold on, I gotta crack my back. Oh, ow. There is a... I just kind of want to get myself to the point where I can test those other like quests and see like where the Dragonborn element kind of comes in. I could try advancing like the quest stages. I just don't know them at the moment. 139, 13939, 1. If I do 40, that should give me 1. And then actually 38. Oh, okay. Oh, that didn't work. No? Okay. Help. I don't know. Dragonborn. I just need... Is there like a... There's that auxiliary armors chest. You can always add it via MCM items, I mean. Just remove the book in my game. I have an idea. Well, it's going to be all the immersive armors, though. Why don't I just go to fucking QA smoke? That ought to do it. There's a bunch of stuff in here. All Dragonborn spell tomes, all Dragonborn books. This is all Dragonborn stuff. I want regular. Where's all my other things? In the other room? Uh-oh. Naked. Where is it? Over here? Here we go. All staves. This is the way to do it. Is there a take all? Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, whoa. I was going to say, I thought I crashed the game. Go to COC DBM Utility 2. What's there? Did I spell it wrong? DBM Utility. Did I spell this wrong? Am I crazy? It's more like unique quests rather than literally all the staves. Well, I'm just going to take all this shit and then see what it grabs and then get rid of whatever it doesn't. DBM Utility 2. Oh, it used to be a room with all of them. Maybe it's 1. I'm try to search DBM. DBM Quest Handler. Cells. Ravis Rest. Sakyo. Hall of Heroes. Secrets. Bear Library. Natural Center. Planetary Safe House Storeroom. Airship Pocket Realm. Oh, Alien Pocket Realm? Rad. Oh, I want to go on the airship. Okay, hold on. DBM Airship Cabin. I'm doing that after this. It'll probably be like... I'm not ending the stream without doing that. God, that's loud. Yeah, I wanted to check that out for sure. God, I can't scoot my chair in far enough. Gosh, oh, I gotta have a... Apple cabbage stew. Turn that down. Hurts my ears. Lore friendly, fast traveling requiem. Ugh. That's not a fun sound. Skill books. I'm just gonna take all this shit. That's fine. I think I'm gonna break it when I try and sort. Oh no. I don't want enchanted armor. That's good. All clothing and jewelry. Oh, I started blood on the ice. How about that? Keys. Guys, I don't have a lot of stuff. Boom. I got some gold. What? This could freak out when you try to sort displays. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. How much stuff do I have? 7,500. All right, we'll save it beforehand, and we'll see what happens. Just be aware it takes a while. I mean, I don't. That makes sense to me. COC, DBM Hall of Heroes. I spelled it wrong, didn't I? What did I do? Excuse me. DBM DG. Did I put DNM? Alright, here we go. Everyone, you ready? Take this, prep station. Yes. Alright, everyone kick back. Let's hang out. How's everyone doing today? No, I was wrong. I was thinking the exterior didn't require DBM. Oh. Alright. Sounds good. What are you guys' plans for the rest of today? Displays added 2. Did it say that? No way. Still sorting displays. Okay, I was like, what? I yawned. I was starting to get tired. Guys, my schedule's been... It's you can't even call it a schedule. It's been all out of whack. You know what I'm saying? It's just been nuts, guys. I got my mouth right in the microphone. I need a haircut. My hair's getting too long. It's in my face. Watch this. You ready? This will if I don't swoop it to the side like this. Check this out. There it is. Beautiful, right?
Ah, I'm glad you're here.
Oh shit.
Come across a rare discovery. I got word of a unique relic and was able to procure it from the seller. Use it if you wish, or place it on display.
I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful, no matter what you say. I can't bring me down.
Ah, friend.
I have way too much stuff.
Yes, I'd imagine with all these relics you're finding, you must be bringing back lesser items tenfold.
That's a cool line. Oh, he's gonna give me a house.
I have many contracts in the trade.
Oh no, wait.
In case a rare or unique
Oh.
surfaces, I can make arrangements to liquidate your surplus spoils. I would most likely only
I'm heading down past my shoulders. That's just standard for me. Hell yeah, bro. I used to.
with the merchants
When I was a youth.
proven the worth of your goods. Also,
Cool.
the merchants
And there's
will
even like
sell
progression to selling
only
stuff.
enchanted items you are made if they are able to pay premium for them. So continue to sell those yourself, but they will purchase any found relics with enchantments sight unseen.
Cool. I can see why Ice Cream describes this mod as like you build your playthrough around it, because it kind of tries to give you tools to handle all the different stuff that happens over the course of your, average murder hobo playthrough.
I'll start selling things
Kanban to dump ideas, prioritization with team, define a scope for release, plan sprints towards release, regular workday, and take time to train. That is it, plot. So we have the... Would you call just a massive Jira repository of tickets a Kanban to dump ideas, right? Prioritization with the team, for sure. That part we kind of do already. Define a scope for release. That part we still haven't done. Plan sprints. And take time to train. You're talking about physical training, right? If you can think of an it has X feature, it has it. Wow. Acid Blade 77. That's my boy Todd. What's up, dog? Oh, you threw a Y in there, huh? Plot. Gotcha. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. We're still sorting displays here. Also, I'm sorry, Orion. I was like not paying attention. What's up?
Ah, yes, indeed. I wanted to discuss
He's so tan.
I have for you regarding the museum and your profession as a relic hunter.
Mm-hmm,
There have been many people inquiring about potential work here as of late, spurred on by your success, as it were.
I was wondering how I was going to handle that.
There may have potential to assist us in uncovering more relics and lore.
Acid Blade was taken.
We could form a guild such as here.
BS, dude.
Call it the
Been in the Dwemer sunbeds. Yes, of course.
Members could combine their efforts and collaborate to investigate more ruins, uncover more legends and lost lore. The fruits of any labor sponsored by the guild would be displayed here. This could take some of the workload off of you and provide a new source of people and information that you could utilize on larger ventures.
This is wild.
What do you think?
Yeah. What if you're like, nah, it sucks. I don't wanna.
I would say that perhaps the best arrangement would be to have you as
Clearly edited by the racism in Skyrim mod. Yes, must be. Build a guild of explorers. Gonna get going for a bit. Talk to y'all later. Thank you for hanging out, and Ordill, as always. Oh. Wow.
aiding the growing guild. I would start
Dang.
with the guild charter for your approval, while you could start with the construction of the guild house.
You get a guild house? This isn't the guild house? I guess this is the museum, huh?
The reception hall. It will require some considerable revision to part of the city wall, which I have already gotten permission for from the Blue Palace.
Whoa.
I envision the guild house having a grand view of Skyrim, which can be both logistically beneficial and awe-inspiring at the same time. Once the building is completed, you could undertake recruiting new members, and I could direct possible applicants to you as well.
Alright. This is cool.
I'll start
This is
work
rad.
right away and have a workbench set up out back for you to start on the guild house. I've also made arrangements for Huron at the mill outside Solitude to sell you some lumber at a discount.
Damn. I mean, this is obviously, the scope of this mod is so wide that I'm sure there's like compatibility considerations, but just having played with it for the first time as I am now, I am very impressed. This is really, really cool stuff. I'm gonna keep doing it. A room with a view. Great name. 647, baby. That actually went faster than I expected. About to dump so much dialogue on you. Made it in time just for the end. Hey, how you doing, Brittany? Thank you for joining us. Went faster than much less on my potato. LOL. I really need to upgrade. Build it like a Hearthfire home. Did you ever look more into that mod I told you about? Which one was that? Remind me, please. Ow, I'm stretching. Oh, okay. Start work on building the guild house. Got it. Yes, sir. Bro, you're like the best museum curator I could have asked for. Skyrim Blathers. Look at this. Wow. Guys, we have actual stuff in the displays now. Look at this. Also, shit, is this going to affect my whole static clutter business? I hope not. He's like Q or some shit. No kidding. He's like, yeah, you know, I would like to expand into a guild house, which is why I already got the permits from the Blue Palace, of course. That's like that's what my old boss used to call solution-oriented thinking. It's like you're not even approaching me with it until you already have a solution. Solid. Yeah, or Alfred. It's very true. Oh, what a beautiful sunset we have. I like the rain. We don't get enough of it here in California. It's like my friend Todd, he lives in Portland. He's constantly complaining about how it never rains there. You know? Alright, where do I go? Oh, oop. What's this? Ah, Erica's house. Can't wait to go back and see what was done so far. Is this Lexi's? It's not Brittany. Unfortunately, we couldn't nab Lexi's because the Wabbajack installer is down at the moment. Oh. Ah, it's just telling me where... Oh. Uh-oh. But I wanted to try it in the future. That's what good minions are all about, handling problems for you before you even thought of them and handing you a solution. You didn't focus on what you're good at. Hey Connor, how you doing? Should have just installed manually. What? What am I looking at here? Is this maybe one of the problems caused? Someone said that the Reliquary of Myth picks. I haven't looked at it yet, but I still have it, or I looked at it yesterday on stream, right? I have it written down. I'll definitely add it to the list for sure. Is there supposed to be something here? I think you go to the balcony? Oh, okay. Yeah, California does not get a whole lot of rain, unfortunately. The rain we do get, we are very grateful for. Especially down here in LA. Is it there? I mean, Uh-oh. It should be there. Acid Blade just tipped $10. Todd, thank you very much. First time caller, long time listener. It's true. Todd's been listening to me ramble about stuff since we were in college. Thank you very much for the tip, dude. What? It's more than likely open cities fuckiness. Yeah, it could be, just because this would be a little... like, unless you knew that it was coming, it'd be a bit hard to plan for. Well, I have a... maybe... Is there a certain workbench that it's trying to direct me towards? Maybe I can manually place it here. Furniture or something? Activator? I might be able to find it. Also, we got 7 minutes left, so if not, I can always do it myself and figure it out that way, or maybe advance the quest stage. You know how it goes. But let's see what we can find in the meantime. The carpenter table from Hearthfire. I gotcha. It's all dialogue. Dun, 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 dun. Come on here. A lot of dialogue. Other forums, music, keyword, archaeology, craft, BYOH, building. Yeah, like you can see, there's stuff there. These are globals. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. Oh yeah, just do the airship. All right, let's do that then. All right, I'll try and figure this out later. Maybe just like, because I can usually place it at me, and it might work. It might not, because the reference might need to be this specific one for like the quests and whatever. But I don't know. Alright, airship. DBM airship cabin, baby. Let's do it. Thank you for reminding me, Milk Toasting. Much appreciated. Oh shit, it's not showing the latest tip as Todd's. Hold on, I was wondering if it was going to do that. Give me a moment. Just real fast. I want to alt-tab and make sure my buddy's thing shows up here. Gotta start Streamlabs. Plot, I set up an MVP Trello board with some MVP organization into US subprojects and shared it on fan creations of the Discord. I was just thinking I needed to dump it somewhere to be done with it. Thank you for doing that, Plot. I'll definitely take a look at it. I'm not used to Trello versus Argira. I mean, really, it sounds like you definitely know what you're talking about in terms of your project organization, so I'd love to chat with you about it at some point. Feel free to shoot me a message. It's like we have things, I can show you how we have things set up, and then, you know, if you have any input to offer us, I would be happy to grab it. Brittany says, I've never played LOTD either, so I was really looking forward to all of this. It is really cool, Brittany. I'd not played it. The VOD will be available on Twitch, and I'll also upload it to YouTube as well. Streamlabs, labels, that's what I want. Well, I have my caps lock on. Shemon. There it is. Alright, so it should update. There it goes. Now it's working properly. Let's check out this airship, shall we? Ah. Oh man, my abs are sore. I was watching the Mindy Project last night with Liz, and it was a really funny joke where she's like on a date with BJ Novak, and they're joking about how ridiculous like men's magazines are. It's always like these 6 tips to get the sickest abs, and it's like, does anyone actually care about abs? Like, is that like a huge thing among? Maybe, I mean, I'm sure a lot of women care about abs, but it just seems overblown. It's all about, I mean, are abs counted as one of those glamour muscles, right? Like biceps and what else? Chest, I guess. Project management experience through walking into all the pitfalls. I mean, how else do we learn, right? We make a bunch of mistakes. I think really the trick there's like a Brene Brown thing on this too, and Liz and I talk about this all the time, is shame resilience, right? Like, this is something that, frankly, just because of my own kind of particular personal past, I'm really... saying that I'm bad at it, it feels a bit much like a judgment. I know I'm not supposed to do that, but I'm pretty comfortable saying I'm objectively bad at shame resilience. Is that idea of like, when you make a mistake, not just beating yourself up for it, because it's like you feel like you need to punish yourself, right? Like, oh, I'm so dumb, I made this dumb mistake or whatever. Or even there's a distinction. Like, there's a difference between I made a mistake versus like I did something bad versus I am bad, right? It's kind of like the distinction between guilt and shame and all that other fun stuff. Personally, I struggle a lot with, not beating myself up for mistakes, but really, all the literature says that's what really helps, is if you learn how to be kinder to yourself, how not to just beat yourself up unnecessarily, rather, for making mistakes, because everyone makes mistakes, and oftentimes that's how we learn. Most of the time, that's how we learn. There's that old expression about finding more in the losses than the victories, you know what I'm saying? The whole I made a mistake, I am a mistake thing, gotten way better at it, highly recommend. That's awesome, Milk Toasting. Congratulations. Max power, I think people care more about no abs than having abs, i.e. fat. I mean, unfortunately, I think you're right. It's like as long as you're reasonably trim, I suppose, that's probably most people's preferred aesthetic. How do I get out of here? This is really cool, by the way. Is there supposed to be like an activator here that I like climb up into or out of, and it's not here? 100% just got to integrate the mistake and take what's valuable from it and ditch the rest. Absolutely. It's just like all the research shows that we are far more effective when we don't, like, even if your goal pragmatically is to use what's useful from the mistake and learn from it, you're far more effective at doing that when you don't beat yourself up, when you're kind to yourself. Like, everything shows that to be the case. Check the local map. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we don't have an activator here. Oops. Well, that's unfortunate. I wish I could see the outside, but I suppose because we have it, you can see even where the oh, maybe not. That could just be the ambient kind of shadowing. But I feel like there's supposed to be something there. Dang. Well, yeah, how are you going to learn from mistakes without making a ton of them? Very true. Well, shit, I want to see the outside. Is there any way for me to do that really fast before I end the stream? You need to have made some mistakes to understand the value of learning from others' mistakes. Also true. For me, it's just that it's that constant struggle of not beating yourself up for the mistakes you make. For me, that's just like my personal past. You know, just I think when kids experience trauma, they kind of learn that a lot, right? Where kids have a really hard time not internalizing blame for things that aren't their fault. You see this in like loss or divorce, where kids just, I think that there's like a theory that I read one time. It makes perfect sense to me, where it's like, for kids, it's easier to believe that something was your fault than it is to believe that just things just happen, because the latter kind of points to this chaotic worldview, and like the world is kind of chaos sometimes. Sometimes things happen for no reason. Bad things happen to good people, so on and so forth. I think it's easier for kids to believe that something was their fault, because then at least they still feel like they have some sort of control. Like they're like, okay, well, if I just am not so shit the next time, then maybe I can prevent XYZ bad things from happening to me. And it's this kind of tragic thing where kids just end up blaming themselves for things that, you know, they never had any control over. It's in the overworld. It spawns at each city outside. Dang, I don't know if I can trigger the ability to spawn it, but, you know, eventually maybe we'll see it. Mr. Boy, I've been lurking the past several streams, but thanks a bunch for streaming. It makes the last few hours of the workday go faster. Do you plan on continuing streaming daily? Thank you very much, first of all, Auroras. I don't plan on streaming every single day, but I will be streaming probably with this schedule. This is the schedule that I'm trying right now, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at noon. So I'm trying to stick with that for now and see how it goes. It's really like a time cost evaluation thing, right? Where I need to make sure I still have time to do all the other work that I have on my plate. It will help, I think, evaluating that kind of time cost now that I'll be able to be affiliate. That means I can have subscribers and, you know, emotes and ad revenue and that kind of thing. But right now I'm trying to keep with this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at noon schedule for at least a little bit to see how it works out. So I'd plan on those being the streams. Alright guys, well I think that's gonna do it for this stream. Maybe soon we'll get to see the outside of this airship. I might continue testing Legacy of the Dragonborn on stream. I think that makes for some pretty good content. Just kind of, I would like to at least reach a point where, you know, that whole Dragonborn element kind of comes into the picture, so we can see whether that's something we need to address at all, if we decided to integrate it, or just kind of how it does that. So maybe I'll save that for the next stream. Maybe we'll do something else instead. In the meantime, I'll, you know, keep working. Thank you guys all for the advice on all the organization. Max power 6-6. I thought we were talking about clear glass. Max power, it's because their theory of mind is underdeveloped. They assume every experience is created for or by them subconsciously. Yes, that's, I feel like, exactly the thing. It's like their worldview is so centered on just their own experience, they can't kind of, you know, step outside that. So it's like, if something bad happens to me, of course it's something that I did, or something that is related to me in some way, shape, or form, when that's not the reality. Sacrilegious, I blame myself a lot. Dude, my heart goes out to you, man. We'll work on it together. How about that? Because I do the same thing. And I'm sure we are far from alone in that. It's the struggle that we all get to walk. You have enough artifacts to unlock it. All about now should. All right, perfect. Well, we'll keep that in mind. So we got another quest, right, from our boy. We got a room with a view. Oh, we're trying to do this one. Okay, well, so I'll see about that. I'll find even like the furniture keyword and see if I can't kind of bypass this hurdle. And then we can keep testing maybe in the next stream. Thank you guys all for joining me. I really appreciate it. You guys know that I really, really do. Or I hope you do know that, because I really do. Is that why devs patched vampire attacks? This game was for me. Thoughts? Maybe. Could be. Couldn't tell you. I think there's a lot of reasons to patch those. They can sometimes interfere with a lot of stuff. Anyway, once again, thank you guys for joining me. My next stream should be next Tuesday at noon, so I hope to see you all there. And by that point, I should have the affiliate onboarding done. I believe that Twitch is going to let me do that, hopefully right after this, so I can, knock it out. Thank you, Brittany, very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, shit.